The Temple Owls bring their Temple toughness back home for their first home game of the year, with new head coach Jeff Collins bringing the juice and bringing the swag. They welcome Villanova and their new head coach Mark Ferrante. After an early playoff exit a year ago, they're determined to finish in 2017. You're watching the American Conference on ESPN. And it's a battle of Philadelphia. Villanova takes on Temple here at Lincoln Financial Field. Hey everyone, welcome inside Lincoln Financial Field alongside 12-year NFL vet Tyoka Jackson. Greg Meskel here with you. And Tyoka, we start with Temple. They're coming off a humbling loss against Notre Dame, but they've got some guys that want redemption this week.
They do, and they've got a very physical offense that starts with their tailback, Raquel Armstead. He teamed with Jahad Thomas last year to give them one of the best combos in all of college football. Thomas has moved on, so that 900 yards plus and 14 touchdowns that he gave you last year, Temple Owl fans, it's going to go up much higher. He's a bell cow back, and he's excited to play. Defensively, you've got Michael Dogby. He's got all of his guys next to him are young players. He graduated 3 guys last year to the pros. He's got young linebackers behind him. He wore 98 last week. He's wearing number 1 this week because he's the number 1 guy that shut that run down. They struggled against Notre Dame. They got to be better before conference play, and I expect them to be that.
Now we look towards Villanova. They're coming off of a win over Lehigh last week, and while they might be FCS, they've got some FBS caliber guys.
And they've got a very diverse offense. It starts with their tailback as well, and his name is Matt Goodson. He had a career high last week of 142 yards and 2 touchdowns against Lehigh. We talked about Temple's struggles. They've got some questions with their run fits. Villanova needs to decide if they've got the answers to those questions this week. Defensively, they run a 3-3 stack, which means they got to have really physical linebacker play, and the 235-pound Ed Shockley gives them exactly that. He was tied for the lead in tackles last year. He had 14 big stops against Lehigh. He's a heck of a football player. He's only 5'11", though, Greg, but you won't have any problems finding him amongst the trees. Just look for the guy getting off the ball carrier.
Exciting stuff on the way here in Philadelphia. You've got Villanova and Temple reigniting their rivalry for the first time since 2012. Nova's won a couple of those games, but Temple has eyes on a bigger prize this year. 2 new head coaches excited to get their second game under their belts. Dancing now, kickoff next on ESPN. Welcome back inside Lincoln Financial Field, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the site for Villanova and Temple. Tyoka Jackson, Greg Meskel here with you, getting ready for a kick. And a couple of new head coaches in this one. We look first at Temple, and there's their new head man, Jeff Collins, coming over, the former defensive coordinator at Florida. Has quite the resume as he has worked his way up to a head coaching position here with the Temple Owls, a program coming off of 2 excellent seasons. Back-to-back trips to the American Conference Championship game and winning the whole thing last year in the American.
Look at that sideline, Greg. They got the swag team rolling right now. They're
Full
excited.
movement. And speaking of movement, we are ready here for the kick. Temple going to kick this one away to Villanova. This one will be taken in the end zone, and a knee there. And so we'll get our first look here at the Villanova offense as they take the field. Coming off of that 3-point win over Lehigh. That score not really indicative of how well they handled that game. They were up for the majority of that contest. Got it out to about 14 points a couple of times, just could never blow things open.
Yeah, the impressive part about the end of that game is they had the ball with just under 5 minutes left, and they never relinquished it. They really hammered that thing, went to the hammer offense, kept the ball, and finished that game off.
First look there, Mark Ferrante, the new head coach, longtime Villanova guy, just getting his first year as a head coach, taking over for longtime coach Andy Talley. Here's Zach Bednarczyk, the quarterback, and immediately we get a flag. And everyone's pointing at each other as we get started on a beautiful late summer day here in Philly.
Offside, defense number 1. Jumping into the neutral zone, causing the offense to false start. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Keys to the game, you got Temple had trouble with a lot of fast and furious play. They need to go fast with up-tempo to see if they've got that solved. And also, they've got to create turnovers, Villanova does. If they're +2 with no giveaways, I like their chances today.
So an early 5-yard pickup here and a handoff running right. Villanova going to be stopped shy of a first down. It's Jared McClinton on the carry.
And the keys for Temple, they need to exploit their big offensive line size advantage. They got to run the football today and then be ready for the gadget plays. Villanova likes to do a lot of misdirection, a lot of gadget. They're going to show some trick plays to try to get a win here. Temple's got to be ready.
Second down and short. Chappelle Russell there on the stop for the Owls. 1 yard to go here for Nova. Opening drive for the Wildcats. Bednarczyk. He'll go handoff. That's good. Zach running left, turns the corner, and then he is met at the 35. Marshall closing the gap there, delivering a big hit, but it's going to be enough to move the chains. Goodzak coming off a great week last week against Lehigh, and now hang on. They spot this here. The chain crew is ready to make a move, and now they will get on the good foot and set up a first down and 10 here for Nova.
One of the things right now Nova's going to have to adjust to is the speed of this Temple defense. It's not quite Lehigh from last week, and Goodzak's going to figure that out. They're going to get that ball upfield. He's going to put his foot in the ground and get it upfield. That east and west won't quite get it done this week.
So first down and 10. Villanova on the move on their own 35. Bednarczyk to pass. Left-hander takes a look, slings it out, incomplete. He's looking for Goodzak out to the near side. We talked about his week last week in the win over Lehigh. 12 carries, 142 yards. That was a career high.
Yeah.
And then Bednarczyk played well in his own right. The coaches told us the perfect balance of run and pass against Lehigh.
Absolutely, and they're going to try to make it that sort of game. They don't want to be one-dimensional against Temple. The big question is, can they handle that front and give Goodzak some ability to run the ball between the tackles?
3 to the right. They go handoff, and a scrum, not much there.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Had problems there, run up inside.
Goodzak on the carry once again.
Impact players. You know, Ryan Bell is a heck of a football player. He's a hybrid guy. They put him in space and see if they can get mismatch problems. And then Sean Chandler is a converted all-conference cornerback. He's now all-conference safety. Great ball skills from that guy.
And here's our first look at a money down here. This is where Temple goes wild on the sidelines, holding up money down signs. Third downs are very important to the Temple Owls, especially on defense. Bednarczyk has time looking to throw. That is caught. Goodzak, but he's going to be stopped shy of a first down, able to pull that one off his shoe tops. It was a low throw, and that'll bring up a fourth down.
Pretty good protection right there. He took the underneath throw. That's exactly what the defense gave him. Great coverage downfield by Temple. They're going to rush 4 and see if they can get after this quarterback without having to blitz. Nice job of playing really good zone defense in the back half and man underneath.
That was Sean Bradley on the coverage. Mike Jones is back to return this one. Punting opportunity here for John Hinchin. So 4th down, and Temple ready to return this one, going to get their first chance on offense. This one curls towards the sideline and then it stops on a dime around the 15, rolls a couple of yards forward. It'll be down there, and that's where Temple will take a look.
As you mentioned before, the money down for Temple, that's going to be something that we need to track all game. That 3rd down conversion is going to be a big deal and a big key for this game. Villanova is going to have to keep the ball. 3rd and manageable to convert and keep it. And Temple's going to want to get off the field every time on 3rd down to give their offenses more chances.
And now the Temple offense takes the field. Here's Logan Marchi winning the quarterback battle coming out of camp. There were 4 quarterbacks vying for the starting spot. There's his numbers last week against Notre Dame, and he'll go handoff here. And just a couple there. Into the pile, they went with David Hood. Take a look at some impact guys on the other side of things.
You know, Ventel Bryant didn't play last week. He had a nagging hamstring injury, but when he's healthy, he's their best receiver. And for Villanova, Rob Roll is just simply an all-star. Big-time playmaker for that defense.
Running again, it's Hood again, running left, 1st down and then some to the 30. David Hood, the redshirt junior, able to break out in some space.
Temple has 3 really good backs, and David Hood is one of them. Ran the ball out of the shotgun position, and look at the perimeter blocking. I mean, when you see white jerseys on the ground, you know the offensive line is getting done. We talked about their size advantage, and that's going to be an issue all day for the Wildcats.
Ball on the 30 now. Temple, their first try on offense. Marchi now to throw for the first time, looking downfield. They say he has a pro arm. That's complete, good for a 1st down, connecting way downfield with Keith Kirkwood. And that'll put things into Villanova territory.
When you run the football, it sets up play action. They went 2 I-backs, something very rare you see in college football anymore. 2 backs in the backfield, I-backs, went play action, gave plenty of time for Kirkwood to run his crossing routes, and he's a big, strong receiver at 6'3", 220 pounds, went up and attacked the ball. Great job.
Now on the Villanova 44. Marchi pitches it out to the right. It's more David Hood turning upfield to the 35 and taken down there. Rob Roll coming over for the stop.
Excuse me, partner. We talked about Armstead in the opening, but this kid here said, well, I can play too now. Ran a nice little job of running option, and option is assignment football. Pitch man wasn't taken care of, and they exploited it.
Marchi to throw once more. Nearly completed down the sideline. Intended there for Adonis Jennings. Couldn't hang on.
Tried to go back shoulder there. Jennings did a good job of adjusting. The old adage, if the ball hits you in the hands, you got to come down with it. As you see, he's got that. I mean, that would have been a beautiful pitch and catch if he could then look that thing in. And that's something that he'll get talked about right there in the meeting room tomorrow. They'll get on him about that. You got to catch that football, young man.
Well, it's a nice ball, too, for Marchi, putting it where only the receiver could get it and no one else.
No question.
3rd and 1 now on the 35. Temple looking to keep the drive alive. They go up the gut. Sharga, the fullback, and he churns forward.
We need our viewers to keep an eye on number 4, Nick Sharga. He is an excellent blocker, one of the best fullbacks in all of college football. They don't run him very much. He's a lead blocker type guy, but they'll throw the guy a bone every now and then to keep him interested. And again, you look at him, you're going to see where the ball is going in point of attack.
He's a versatile guy. Played some linebacker in the 2015 season. Like you said, a pro potential at fullback. Here's a handoff. Hood tripped up and then buried in the backfield. Surging in is Julian Williams. And then a little shoving after the fact, but Williams there as a flag flies.
Williams cleaned that play up nicely, but it was really made by Bryant White with all the penetration up front. Penetration kills all types of runs. Doesn't matter if you're running inside, outside, doesn't really matter. Villanova loved the penetration on that play.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 53. 15-yard penalty. The down counts it as 2nd down.
It's on the left tackle, Leon Johnson, going to come after the play here. And he just didn't like the tackle there. It wasn't as if Williams stood over the offensive player all that long. He just came over to push him out of the way.
Now, if they're going to call a penalty on something like that, we're going to be here all day, partner. I mean, that wasn't that bad to me.
Thought maybe it was something after the fact. That seemed pretty tame. Here's a quick out, Marchie. That's complete. Just shy of the 40. Again, hooking up with Kirkwood.
What you see there is some off coverage because they respect the speed of these receivers, and Kirkwood can run. Just a nice bench route trying to get some of that penalty yardage back. And so it's 3rd and long. Money down now for both teams. Let's see if Villanova can come up with a package to get them off the field on 3rd down.
3rd and 18 here. Marchie to throw. That's incomplete. Bobbled going across the middle there. It was intended for Kenny Yeboah, who couldn't hang on.
What you saw there was an RPO. All the rage in college football, run-pass option. It's run for everybody except for the quarterback and the guy he's throwing to. If you see the offensive line, they're literally blocking downfield, but the ball comes out so quick, it's not a penalty.
Williams so close to being in the vicinity there for an interception, not to be. Now we'll see a punting opportunity here. Alex Starzyk will come on to punt for Temple. And Trey Johnson is back to return this one. Fairly high kick. Johnson signals for the fair catch, and he'll take it inside the 5. With 9:05 to play. The Villanova offense returns to the field. We're scoreless so far in this all-Philadelphia battle between Temple and Villanova. Wildcats back at it next. Just an excellent weather day here for college football. Villanova and Temple renewing their rivalry for the first time since 2012, and we'll see Villanova back on the offensive end. They're backed up here on their own 3. Bednarczyk. You can see immediately Temple bringing pressure, and flags will hit the turf as Sean Bradley was approaching.
It's customary for offenses.
Offside. Defense number 23. Entering the neutral zone, causing the offense to false start. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Apologies to Mr. Official. It's customary for offenses when coming out, Greg, to run hard count, because if they jump, they only give up half a yard, half the distance to the goal. But to get a free 5 yards, that's a big deal for this offense.
Gives them a little bit of breathing room here.
Absolutely.
Bednarczyk now not standing on the M in Temple. He'll look to throw. Ranging, stepping up now, has some room. He can run it. He'll slide down at the 10. And again, picks up a little bit more room to set up things on 2nd down.
As you said, he had 72 yards rushing last week. And if you notice, he's not necessarily called a dual threat guy, but he will run it at the right times. You're going to see a lot of misdirection. You see a lot of things. They fake the fly sweep, and he cuts it up inside. Great job of containing it on the outside, but you got to have a man there for the quarterback when he gets up in field. And nice job so far by Villanova. Moving the ball, keep the chains moving, keep the game close. That's their game plan today.
2nd down, 4 to go. Bednarczyk, the junior. Handoff here. Crossing over the 10 and not much more. That was Forbes on the carry. Aaron Forbes, the junior. We talked a lot about Matt Goodzak, but Aaron Forbes also brings some additional depth. Really, either one can at any time go off and have a big game.
In this day and age, you need 2 guys, whether that's the pros, whether that's college. Very rarely do you have 1 guy. Money down.
Money down. Temple's sideline fired up. Boundless energy for the Owls. And it all comes from the top, head coach Jeff Collins.
This is 3rd and manageable if you're Villanova. You can pick up this 3rd down if you're on the details.
Bednarczyk to throw. That's complete. 1st down to the 20. Got it to Ryan Bell, the star tight end, the senior, able to connect over the middle.
They really like Bell. He's an excellent football player. We talked about him as one of the impact players. You get him in space, he's a mismatch problem for any defender. But this goes back to the 5-yard penalty on 1st down, Greg. That gave him opportunity to stay on schedule, and the best blanket for a quarterback, safety blanket, is a really good tight end who can work the inside.
Bell, a former wide receiver in high school, had good size. They converted him to a tight end, and Villanova keeps things moving. 1st and 10 on their own 22. A low snap, a fumble picked up by Bednarczyk. He'll swing it out. That's low. Caught off the shoe tops to the 20, and a broken play all around. Thankfully for Villanova, doesn't result in a turnover.
Yeah, it could have been even worse. Turnovers will be a key today. But they avoided the catastrophe. Now, they played a really clean game last year. Not a whole lot of mistakes, and why not? You got 9 returning starters on this offense, but when you go against a team with a lot of speed and a lot of size, those things last week that weren't mistakes, they tend to get a little, ball gets a little slippery, your mind slips a little bit because of the pressure from the defense. They have got to minimize all of their missed assignments today, beyond the screws, beyond the details. That's the way to win this game.
Those are the ways to knock off an FBS team. You've got to take advantage of some of these penalties, as we'll see a stoppage here. With 6:05.
First charge timeout, Villanova.
So Villanova will call for time here in Tioga. You get the idea that maybe they felt a bit out of sorts. You saw the broken play earlier, a couple of near fumbles, now a little out of it here. They'll get a chance to regroup, call a timeout, and talk things over. Center City, Philadelphia in the distance from here at Lincoln Financial Field, considered in South Philadelphia. So we get ready to resume play. 2nd and 11 for Villanova on their own 21. A jump there from Temple, a flag again.
Offside, defense number 94. Entering the neutral zone, causing the offense to false start. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It's Julian Taylor on the penalty. In Tioga, we talked about this earlier. Teams looking to get into a sync here both feel a little out of sorts early.
And I think a lot of the credit to the defense. They played well early. Now, Temple has had some early pre-snap penalties, and you're at home. You shouldn't be jumping off sides now. And that's why young Mr. Taylor's on the sidelines. That's a problem when you're on the road. At home, there should be no problems. Cotton in your ears, go on movement.
2nd and 6. Bednarczyk, the handoff, the run, twirling forward, and good enough for a 1st down. That's Aaron Forbes on the carry, the junior from Newburgh, New York.
You're going to see a lot of different formations from this Villanova offense, a lot of different personnel. That time they went bunch left, passing formations, run the football out of it. Very good job at the point of attack, hat on the hat, and so far so good moving the chains for this Villanova Wildcat offense.
Nice lane opened up there, too, for Forbes to burst through. Bednarczyk now. He's got trips to the near side. 5.5 to play, 1st quarter. Fakes the quick out. Going downfield now. Wide open. That's caught. Good to the 45 and then some. Hooking up with Changa Hodge.
Now, I wouldn't call this a trick play, but that's an excellent job of faking the screen and hitting the guy down the seam. Right, you got to have really disciplined eyes if you're Temple. They do a lot of clever things with this Villanova offense, and that's an excellent throw on the money, broken coverage.
Bednarczyk to throw again, goes the other side, again open, but too much on it. Swung that one out to Alex Padavani.
Right now, this Temple defense is reeling just a bit. Villanova's starting to get into that groove that we talked about before. They're starting to settle into this ball game. They're the FCS team. They've got a chip on their shoulder. They've got guys who were or should have been recruited by Temple. For whatever reason now, they're in the FCS, and they couldn't care less. They just come out and play football. Once that game starts, nobody really cares about the letters in front of the team's name.
Lots of movement here from Villanova. A little too much movement. Flag flies here. Bednarczyk will throw it away, being pursued.
Illegal shift. Offense. 2 men moving prior to the snap did not reset. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
I was going to say now that's against the rules. Now you can't have 2 guys. They're really creative and diverse and all that.
Correction. The penalty is declined. It is 3rd down.
That's unfair if they let 2 guys move at the same time.
Referee Charles Lambertina explaining things there, and there was quite a bit of movement there right before the snap. It almost looked too good to be true for Villanova. Money down here. Temple sideline fired up. They get excited for any 3rd down, and it sends their sideline into a frenzy. They value those possessions. It's especially on defense. And we'll see a timeout called by Temple with 4:56 to play. 3rd and 10, Villanova ready to go coming out of this break. Tayuka, we talked about defense, and for Villanova and Temple, and one of the things last week for Temple was the fact they allowed 49 points. And I wonder if it's difficult to kind of shake that off defensively coming into the next game.
Well, that's football. You learn quickly to clear bad plays and clear bad weeks. That's ancient history. It should be anyway for these young men. They can go make everything right by shoring up that run defense first and getting a right to rush the passer this week. And so right now, Villanova's throwing a lot at them. Some things they didn't see on film, and they've got to adjust. In a game like this, against guys like this, you got to play your keys. And these keys that they're playing against come from a lot of guys out their backyard, as you can see. I mean, a lot of Philly area kid and also Jersey kids on both sides of the ball. They know each other well, played against each other in high school, a lot of rivalries. This is for bragging rights for these guys.
A whole host of guys here, as you can see, played with each other in high school and now playing against each other here in this one. Has to add a little something extra to the rivalry. They know each other's tendencies, even going back to high school. We're seeing it here now at the college level. Bednarczyk to throw, and that was a little miscommunication as Goodzak kept heading upfield as the ball sailed behind him.
And good thing it was a miscommunication, because Mike Jones had a beat on that ball. I mean, if that ball would have been thrown more accurately, Jones is catching that and running the other way right now as we speak. So sometimes an inaccurate throw can be good for the offense, because Jones was all over it.
Jones had a pick last week against Notre Dame. Wouldn't mind to add another here in the home opener.
Now this is 4th down now. 4th and 10. It looks like Villanova's thinking about going for it, seriously thinking about it, because they're deep in the play clock. Very aggressive early here. I like it.
They're kind of in that in-between spot.
Yeah.
And now they're going to call for timeout. So they'll talk things over.
Somebody said, not so fast. Let's talk about it.
You were excited. They weren't as excited.
But you know what? You got to go win the game. I mean, there's no participation medals in college football. And this will be one of the better wins in school history if they can pull this thing off. We know this Temple squad is 3 consecutive seasons, 10 wins. They know how to win. Bowl games, the whole 9. And so, you know, this is big. We talked about the recruiting fertile ground here in Philadelphia and the Jersey area. And if you can hang on your wall that you beat Temple, you know, that's a big deal for you.
And you get a sense of what it means here to the local community. Great turnout here today.
A lot of those red fans in the seats right now because Villanova's playing well early.
This game, when it has happened in the past, typically was on the Labor Day weekend. They thought moving it a week away from that might open up a bigger turnout. Seeing a lot of fans showing up here today. Also great weather.
Look out for Ryan Bell.
So 4th down. Bednarczyk here. Good block near side. Flag comes complete across the middle. And they'll tie him up. It's going to be close and looks shy of a 1st down here. Temple already pointing the other way. That was complete to Taurus Phillips.
That's the area generally of holding, offensive holding in the backfield.
Holding, offense number 20. 10-yard penalty, 4th down.
It looked near side that Goodzak dumped the oncoming rush, but was involved in a hold there.
Correction. Decline. The ball is turned over on downs. 1st down, Temple.
And so the penalty there declined. Temple will take it, turnover on downs. They get their offense back on the field.
Excuse me, we talked about Ryan Bell on that play. I saw him going up the seam. He appeared to come open late, and Bednarczyk decided to go underneath with the ball, which was still a right play. Broken tackle could have gotten the 1st down, but 3rd and 4th down, I'm looking for that security blanket. I mean, if you're Temple, or if I'm Villanova, I should say, you're going to have to prove to me, Temple, that you can cover Ryan Bell wherever he goes, because so far in his career, not many people have been able to.
Temple returns on offense. Marchi, redshirt sophomore. Backs beside him. He'll take a look downfield, looking to throw. One-on-one coverage. What a ball! That's complete! Deep into Villanova territory. Connecting with Adonis Jennings way downfield for a 1st down.
What a throw. Marchi put that thing right on the button. Watch this ball drop in the bucket. Beautiful. A great over-the-shoulder catch by Jennings. And Jennings coming off a great bowl game last season. 7 catches for $154 and 2 touches in the Military Bowl against Wake.
They'll go carry and nothing doing. But Temple now on the move. Second down as they're into Villanova territory after the big reception to Adonis Jennings.
So far early, Villanova has been up to the task against the run of Temple. Temple's gotten some explosive plays through the air, though.
43 yards to Jennings through the air. Here's Marchie to throw again. That's complete near side, but not going to get much. Hooking up with Ventel Bryant. So good to see him back in the game. He's wearing number 19. Didn't play last week against Notre Dame with some hamstring issues.
Yeah, they're excited to have him back because he's really their best receiver when all things are said and done. He's working his way back in, running a nice little stop route. You see the amount of respect they have for him with that cushion. But you got to give a lot of credit to Malik Reeves to come up and stick his foot in the ground, come up and make a tackle in space, because when you're playing zone defense, they're going to catch the ball underneath, but you got to tackle when they do.
3rd and 7. On the 27, Marchie to throw. Has all kinds of time. Stepping up now, fires across the way. That's complete. First down to the 10 and then driven out of play. Able to connect with Kirkwood.
How about the time? How about the time, partner? I mean, when you can go back here and bake a cake and ice it too, I mean, you can go through your progressions. Great job by Logan going through his progressions, keeping his poise in the pocket, and throws another great ball to Kirkwood on time and on target along the sidelines.
A lot of upperclassmen on that Temple offensive line doing a great job holding position. Here's a quick out and off the fingertips, looking for Isaiah Wright.
Archie's got to get his front foot down when he throws those quick outs. More often than not, when that ball sails high, partner, that's a quarterback not getting his front foot down. He's got to be a little more patient with his footwork. You want to get it out quick, but you got to be on the footwork to make that ball accurate.
2:38 to play, first quarter. Villanova, and we see a jump and a flag.
Offside. Defense number 97. Entering the neutral zone, causing the offense to false start. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Aaron Siegel makes that move, the sophomore from Harrisburg.
There's the jitters right there. And this is a rivalry game, but you got to keep your poise, guys. Again, the snap count means nothing to D linemen. It shouldn't, but right now they're listing on both sides of the ball, and it's costing them. Keep eye on number 4, partner. That ball's going to go where he goes.
Second down. Handoff. A couple of tackles missed, and now clogging things up as Raquel Armstead is stopped. So that'll bring up 3rd and 4 now on the 4.
Ed Shockley didn't make the tackle, but he made the play right there. He blew that thing up in the backfield, and that's what you want to do. You want the back to have to change directions deep in the backfield. That usually stop and start will be enough for your guys to come and rally, and it was.
Owls 3rd and goal here, looking to punch this one in, get the first points in this game. Marchie under center. They'll go handoff. Armstead tripped up, tries to break a tackle, and again Villanova there to drive the running back backwards.
And guess who? Ed Shockley. Again, he's shooting the gaps. He knows where that fullback goes, he's going with it. And he comes right through the A-gap, beats the block, and does a heck of a job. Watch number 33. Bam! Makes him cut back, almost makes a tackle, gets up, gets off the ground, gets on the tackle. That guy's a heck of a football player. You want to watch football being played? Keep your eyes on number 33 in white.
Field goal opportunity now for Temple. Austin Jones will come on, the senior, coming off an ACL tear a year ago. This part of last season. Jones puts that one up and through, and the field goal is good for Temple. They strike first and go ahead 3-0, but credit the Villanova defense and guys like Ed Shockley keeping Temple from putting a 6 on the board. It's a 3-0 lead for the Owls in their home opener, as Austin Jones connects on the 22-yard field goal.
Good job of changing the scoreboard if you're Temple, but right now Villanova is feeling good about themselves. Nothing catastrophic happening. They hit a couple big plays through the air, but the defense bowls up in the red zone, plays really good defense inside that 20, keeps them out of the end zone as you mentioned. So right now for Villanova, so far so good. Everything's going fine. You're down only 3, And that's okay. They'll take that right now.
There, Coach Mark Ferranti in the Villanova sidelines. His 30th season at Villanova, was the assistant head coach under legendary Andy Talley for the last 18 years. So this is not your typical, we've got a new head coach. Right. This guy knows the system. The coordinators have been there for a long time. Everybody has stuck together. They like what they're doing at Villanova.
And that's why they're a powerhouse in FCS. They continuity. I mean, it's just the guys doing the same thing over and over, class after class.
Kickoff here, taken just inside the 5. Villanova now racing up to the 25. And stop there. That was Josh McGrigg on the return, the redshirt freshman.
So right now, the worst thing you could do if you're Villanova is to be 3 and out right now. Against a long drive, your defense is getting a break. They're sitting down now. Sucking win a little bit. You got to sustain something right now. If you're Temple, you want a 3 and out all day or a turnover. Put that defense back on the field and try to score again. So let's see who now can win this struggle. Keep the ball if you're Villanova for a couple first downs. 3 and out for Temple.
A little over a minute to play in the first. Handoff. Goodzak running left, turns the corner. Julian Taylor with 2 arms wrapped around Goodzak, bringing him down. Here's a look at the drive. Tioga 8 plays, 68 yards. And I know they'll come back to the fact that, yeah, they scored, but they feel it should probably have been 6.
No question. You got to get the ball in the end zone if you're Temple. Field goals won't get it done. I'm just telling you that right now. Field goals will not get it done. You got to put touchdowns on the board and make Villanova play from behind.
So second down after the short gain. Goodzak again carrying 30 and then some. Dragging that pile forward.
Right now, early, Villanova is winning the war in the trenches. On first down, you saw Ethan Greenridge and Matt Donahue get out and pull in front of Goodzak. This time, it's power blocking straight ahead, and they're getting movement right now, those big fellas in Temple. That's a nice job of filling that run off by Goodzak. You want to finish every run going forward. If the viewers look to see who's falling forward offensively, that's the team that's winning the physical battle.
And that'll bring an end to this first quarter. Villanova facing a big 3rd down and 1 to go as we run out of time in the first here in Philadelphia. So the Wildcats coming off of a win last week at Lehigh. Felt like they played fairly mistake-free football, looking to get this man his 2nd win. That guy his 1st win as a head coach. Second quarter on the way. Second quarter about to begin here in Philadelphia. Temple fans on their feet. This has become a hot football team to watch. 2 10-win seasons the last 2 years under head coach Matt Rule, who then departed for Baylor. New head coach Jeff Collins looking to keep it moving. Villanova looking to keep their drive alive, and they surge forward and do just that. And Goodzak dragging defenders with him for a first down.
Right now, if you're Temple, you got to forget about all the action in the backfield and play your keys. Excellent design, fake the jet sweep again, run a little option look. But at the end of the day, right now, the guys up front in white jerseys are whipping the guys in the maroon jerseys. It's just as simple as that.
Captain Matt Donahue, the center, and the rest of that group moving people around. Here's Bednarzik to throw. In trouble. He is drilled. A Temple sandwich in the backfield. Sean Bradley coming in.
That's a coverage sack there. And that's an excellent job of getting secondary rush from the quarterback. Tried to pump and go downfield, but here comes the rush. And there is a clock in every quarterback's head. You want to throw that ball out of bounds. If you're Bednar, excuse me. Get out of the pocket, throw that ball out of bounds, and don't give up a big play. Right now, it's second forever.
Credit Dana Levine coming on as well to start that sack and a flag. Penalties have been part of the story here through a quarter and some change.
Offside. Defense number 99. Entering the neutral zone caused the offense to false start. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It's 5 penalties now against Temple, Tioga.
For 35 yards, and it's really inexcusable. I mean, these are pre-snap penalties for the most part. you can control that, Greg. Right now, they're just doing too much.
That was Freddie Booth-Lloyd back in action after not playing last week against Notre Dame. Michael Dogby admirably filling in for Booth-Lloyd at Notre Dame. Second down, Bednarczyk to throw. Facing pressure, dumps it off short to Forbes. He tries to turn the corner and is met with resistance in a major way. Delvon Randall.
Now we promote some of the other defenders, but right now, Randall's playing the best defensive football on Temple. Well, look at him flash through your screen. And that's an excellent job. Tough to run a screen against zone defense. You want to run that against man-to-man. Randall's playing zone from his safety spot. He comes in, knifes in, really, and makes a great open field tackle for the Owls.
One of a couple of guys from Western Pennsylvania in this game, bringing some intensity there, and just a guy that fills up the score sheet with what he can do on defense. Bednarczyk now. Trouble again, throwing, hit as he throws, incomplete. Went across the middle for Jared McClinton. He couldn't hang on, pressure was coming.
Great job of man-to-man coverage by the Temple Owls. They went man-free, which means your man coverage underneath, one free safety in the hole. They're going to challenge these Villanova receivers. They don't think that Villanova can get open against press coverage man-to-man, and so far Villanova has shown they can't get guys open. Great job of finishing the play by the defensive back with the ball on the ground.
And that was Sharif Finch, Jacob Martin meeting at the quarterback. Punting chance here for Hinchin. Gets this one away cleanly. But Chandler's going to let it bounce in front of him. Now he'll go get it. Dangerous move. Picks it up on the move towards the 35 and then taken down. Coaches everywhere very frightened that he went after that one. But Chandler picks it up and gets a couple of yards on it. And Temple will be back on the field. But first, we'll take a timeout. Second quarter action here in Philadelphia. Temple 3, Villanova nothing.
Villanova went twins to both sides, which means that Sam Franklin had to walk out and play man coverage, and that's the way you do it. Look, see him finish the play? If he doesn't finish that play, that's first down Villanova. He finishes with his arms coming through, knocks that ball out. Great job of recovering in man-to-man defense.
Temple offense retakes the field and immediately handoff to Armstead. Beating a couple of defenders, then scoots out of bounds at the 40.
That was all Armstead there. Wasn't the greatest blocking on the perimeter. He makes a couple moves and gets to the outside, running east to west. Was able to turn the corner to get positive yards. 7 yards is positive yards all day.
He'll take it. 2nd and 3. Ball on the Temple 41. Marchi now has some company in the backfield. Twins to the right. He'll fake the pitch, goes handoff near side. That's Sharger rumbling forward. First down across the 45 into Villanova country.
6'2", 240 pounds of tough man coming at you right there. Nice job of blocking, on the perimeter, and Sharger will finish some runs. Looks like one of my former teammates and Mike Allstott right there running the football.
That's high praise for Sharga, who gets it again and is driven backwards this time. Sharga, a versatile guy, plays guitar as well. They had him playing guitar at one of the practices, electric guitar, earlier this year during summer camp, just to break things up a little bit, get the players fired up. He has interest in quite a few things.
Renaissance man.
Yeah. Handoff here now, running right and picking up a couple.
Temple's starting to find something with these perimeter runs. They're in T formation, and they're testing the outside tackling ability of these Wildcat defenders. There's Sharga again out front blocking. If I'm playing defense against Temple, more often than not, I'm going to look at Sharga in the backfield because the ball's going to go where he goes. Now, obviously, they've got some sister plays off of that to take care of guys who are anticipating, but they're going to have to show me a secondary play first.
Jagger Gardner's come on, had the carry there, has it here again, bumps into his own man. He's in trouble now and is taken down. Jagger Gardner, part of this stable of running backs, the junior.
Great job by Julian Williams there. He pushes his blocker back into the backfield. Watch this. Watch number 7 in white flash through. Look at that. I mean, he put his blocker in the backfield, almost made the tackle with his guy. And that's the sort of defensive perimeter that you want. That's setting the edge. That's why there was nothing doing when that ball cut up inside.
Reminds you a little bit of some human shuffleboard. Knock your piece out of the way.
That's right. That'll go.
And now it's 4th down.
Great job by Villanova again. 3rd down conversions not there so far for Temple, and Villanova's going to get the ball back.
Flag here.
Delay. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
So a delay here on the punt opportunity.
They're going to decline that, though.
Correction. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
And the question is, well, see, why would you decline that? Well, if you back it up 5, it gives more of an opportunity for the punter to pin him down. Now he's got to be that much more accurate, kicking inside the 45-yard line. Right now, Villanova's hoping for a touchback.
Starzik on to punt. And this one will land and then into the end zone. Thought it might stop short and take a Temple bounce. Not the case.
Only your 9-irons fall flat like that. On usually those oblong balls, they'll move, but not right there.
Offense is yet to really get in gear in this one. It's 3-0 Temple. Back to Villanova we go. And welcome back to Lincoln Financial Field. And behind those gentlemen, Raquel Armstead, the star back for this Temple squad, just 4 carries, 7 yards so far. He's been held in check in this one. Villanova now back on offense. Forbes running left and barreling forward, and he'll get a couple. There's Armstead on the Doak Walker watch.
Good football player. And again, this is his time to shine now. Came out of the locker room or dressing room in that last possession. He's got something he's trying to work out. Getting on the exercise bike now. Be interesting to see how he plays next time Temple has the football.
Not too hot down on the field. It was in the high 60s earlier today, so you wouldn't suspect cramps a problem, but they'll try and get loose there on the sideline. Here's now Bednarczyk to throw on the run. Incomplete off the fingertips.
Love the play calling right now. I mean, they're all over the map. You can't figure out exactly what they're doing. Sam Venuto, the offensive coordinator, is mixing it up beautifully. Ran a little sprint action there. Had his man in the flat, just a little inaccurate. You know, Bednarczyk is a really good pocket passer. When he struggles a little bit on the move, and also he anticipates things a little too much maybe when expecting the receiver to be to a place he's not getting to. But if he can have time in the pocket, look down at the defense, he can diagnose it and put the ball where it's supposed to be.
3rd down and 7 on their own 23. Bednarczyk to throw. Has time. A lot of time. Now collapsing, and he'll be spun down to 25. Good coverage downfield. Nothing available for Zach Bednarczyk.
And again, man coverage around across the board, I should say. Temple's going to really challenge these receivers and see if they can get away from tight coverage.
Man down here for Villanova. It's the center captain, Matt Donahue. Trainers out to tend to him. So, okay, let's take a second look here at the coverage here.
Now, if you're at home and you're Bednarczyk, where are you going with the ball? There's nowhere to throw that football. Again, man coverage underneath. Got a single high safety just in case you try to take the top off the defense, and he's got a clock in his head. That pass rush was coming. All he could do was tuck it and go, and that speed of that Temple defense is showing up there. They've got some guys who can really run, especially at the linebacker position. The linebackers are athletic. They're just super young. But when it's time to go get the football and they diagnose it, no problems there.
Donahue being helped off, the senior from Garnet Valley, Pennsylvania. So not a big piece of this Villanova offensive line. So they're now facing a 4th down. They'll bring on the punt unit. John Hinchin will come on. And Mike Jones drifting back to his own 35 here on the return.
Now, if you're Villanova, be high alert now. Temple is one of the better programs in the history of college football at blocking kicks. You better be on your P's and Q's.
Led the NCAA over the last couple of years in blocked kicks. It's a specialty. Inching here to punt, gets it away cleanly. So it'll bounce in front of Jones. He'll go back and get it at the 30. Trying to split the defenders. Breaks free of one, not the rest. Villanova there. A couple of dangerous returns here on some kicks that you might want to let be, but Temple there to try and make something happen. Jones is a playmaker trying to make a play. It's been slow go here on the scoreboard. 3-0, the Temple lead in the second quarter. Second quarter action here in Philadelphia. Temple 3, Villanova 0. Tayaka Jackson, Greg Meskel here with you. First game between these two since 2012. It was a lopsided win for Temple. Here's Marchie now looking downfield. A one-hand grab, no, incomplete, and flags fly in at the end. That would have been Odell Beckham-esque.
No question about that. That big mitt went up and almost came down with it.
Pass interference. Defense number 22. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
That's Jaquan Amos, the freshman from right here in Philadelphia. Second look here at this one. Tayaka, this was a guy they were a little concerned might be too hyped to be in this game in his home football stadium in Philly.
That's right, and they love him as a player, too. They think he's going to be really special, and he's locked up man-to-man against Ventel Bryant, and pretty good coverage by the young fella. He just got a little handsy there. You know, he'll learn to keep those hands down, and when he comes up, come up through the hands of the receiver, and you can get that ball on the ground, but keep him off the guy because the refs will throw the flag.
Marchie hands it off. Armstead back in the mix, running right.
Right now we're seeing great defensive line play by this 3-3 stack. Fallon, again, getting in the backfield. That so far has been the key to the ball game right now. You would have thought that Temple was going to overmatch and overwhelm this smaller defense. But right now, that defensive line is showing up big, getting in the backfield and shutting this run game down.
2nd and 10 on their own 47. Marchie to throw. Has time, as he's had all day. Comes near side and sliding down for the grab. It's complete. They'll get a couple. Able to hook up with Bryant.
It's a big lead throw by Marchie. Almost the far hash all the way to the sidelines. And he puts some juice on it and gets there in a hurry. And of course, it had to. If you lob that ball against anybody, you lob that ball, you got a chance to get an interception there. So he drove that ball. Very nice job of pitch and catch. And Ventel Bryant is starting to get warmed up, partner.
He is one to watch, and it's got to feel good for him to be back, be feeling good, be out there on the field making a couple of grabs after last week. Marchie to throw. Big pressure now. That's complete. Speak of the man himself. Bryant is there for a first down to the 35, and then ripped down. It takes 5 Wildcats.
The guy's hot. You got to feed him. Got a little bit of a hold right there by number 71. Gives his quarterback time to throw that ball, and he's going deep. He's going underneath, running a nice little stop route right there. Again, they're giving him a cushion. They can do that all the way down the field if they want to.
Probably could have gone last week against Notre Dame. Erred on the side of caution, kept him out, and here he is looking in good form as Temple looks to move this one towards the end zone. Marchie to fire. That's incomplete. Tried to sling it out to the far side. Double coverage across the way to Kirkwood.
Yeah, he looked off Ventel that time. He had Ventel one-on-one, decided to look the safety off and come back, but he came back to double coverage. That's the problem. That's one of those things where you expect that thing to be open. It was open in practice, but it was not open in the game, and he's lucky that ball ended up on the ground because it could have been a lot worse. Great job of coverage there by Julian Williams.
2nd down on the Villanova 35. Wildcats nearly jump. Marchie regroups. Now he's ready. Bit of a high snap. Tosses it out right side. Armstead. Armstead a blur around the corner. Tripped up. Still bursting forward. What a second effort from Rockwell Armstead.
That time the offensive line of Temple showed up. Got great movement on the perimeter. And Armstead finished that run off. And it was said that the toughness of a football team is fouling the ball carrier. You see Armstead finish that run off? I mean, it's going to take more than an arm tackle to tackle this guy. I mean, he's only 205, but he runs like he's 235. I mean, all heart, legs churning, and looks like whatever he had problems on the sidelines, he's shaking it off nicely right now.
Yeah, just kept the pile moving. Now 3rd down. Back to Armstead. Changes directions. Tries to turn the corner, and this time Villanova's wise to his scheme. Stewart and company not having it on third down, and that brings up a fourth.
Penetration again. Watch them use Sargent up early. Great penetration. He gets the block, but that makes Armstead then have to redirect. That play wasn't supposed to go to the right. But again, great early penetration. Destroys all running games, and now line up for another field goal.
Another field goal opportunity here for Austin Jones. Was good on the first try from 22. This a little bit further away. This one on the way, tailing, and no good. And Villanova does the job again defensively.
That's a big series for Villanova. Big play on third down. They did not convert, force a long field goal. So far, so good. You really couldn't write a much better script defensively for Villanova. As long as it's a 3-0 ball game, they're fine with their offense. They just don't want to turn it over. They want to keep the game close.
And correction,
right
that was a miss from Aaron Boumeri. He's normally the kickoff specialist, has a bit of a stronger leg. They tried him from 48, and he was off the mark.
There's a little bit of wind going on here, too, at Lincoln Financial. It's swirling. That wasn't an easy kick. The flags right now are moving pretty briskly.
So Villanova back on offense. Handoff, good Zach. And steps to the right for a couple. Yeah, the weather here, as so often in the Northeast, seems like it's summer, maybe a week of fall, and then into winter. So we're in that in-between period right now.
Right. I love this weather. This is football weather, though. I mean, not too cold, but brisk. Got a little bit of breeze. You can still break a sweat, but you're not going to cramp up like you said earlier. This is what football is all about right here.
1 yard pickup there. The Narzik crowded backfield here on second down. He'll fake the handoff, and he'll throw. Sliding down for the grab, good for a first down. That was Padovani able to come up with it across the middle.
They're using a lot of guys in a lot of different formations. They had pistol with split backs beside it. We talked about a lot of different things they're going to show you. Very creative. And they were able to run the ball early, and that sets up all this stuff. And Temple right now mentally is getting tested as much as physically.
So first and goal. Bednarzik looks like a little confusion there. He'll take it himself as he goes up the middle. Booth Lloyd coming in to snuff that play out.
And a big fella got in there early, 325 pounds, and when that gets in the backfield and hitting your backs early, there's nothing good can come out of that. There's no question about it.
Yeah, that's a little confusing there. They may have wanted to go handoff. Instead, Bednarzik kept it himself, and the defense was all over it. Second down, 2 yard loss there. Second and 12 to go on their own 45. Bednarzik again to throw. Tries to go near side and behind the intended receiver there.
Had some pressure coming from the outside, and Sharif Finch getting near that quarterback, and when you get in the quarterback's face, it's amazing how that ball can be inaccurate coming in their hand, and it doesn't matter if it's Zach Bednarzik or Joe Montana. You get pressure, good things that happen for the defense.
That was intended for Justin Covington, a reserve running back who came on.
Money down.
Money down indeed, third down. Fans here fake money with head coach Jeff Collins' face on it. Ready to throw it in the air if things go well. Bednarzik throwing over the middle. That's complete. What a grab. Ryan Bell hauling that one in for a big first down.
What a throw, what a catch. And they go and hurry up. Watch Ryan Bell look this ball in and squeeze it. Beautiful.
Bednarzik takes it himself on the move to the 25 and down there. And the Wildcats keeping the money at bay right now in the stands, able to advance that football into Temple territory now up to the 25.
How about Bednarzik driving that football down that seam? I mean, and this Ryan Bell's a heck of a football player, isn't he? I mean, this is the first time I've seen him, but I mean, you talk about FCS, he could play for any FBS team. I mean, he is a pro prospect, really.
Bell and company looking to keep this drive moving. 2:25 to play, first half. Bednarczyk getting some final signals here from the sideline. Gonna look to throw again. Rolling left, pressure coming. This low pass there intended for Goodzak.
Sean Bradley sniffed that out. Went swap boot there, trying to get on the perimeter. And I think Bednarczyk threw that in the ground because he saw Sean Bradley all over it. Goodzak wasn't going anywhere.
At 3rd and 5 on the 25. Villanova ran up 38 points in the win over Lehigh last week. Looking to just get on the board here.
Sure, and if I'm Zach, I'm looking for number 85 again. I mean, they haven't shown that they can cover the guy. Let's keep throwing it to him.
3rd and 5. Bednarczyk to throw. Stepping up. Over the middle. Incomplete. Off the hands of Taurus Phillips. He was there.
Yeah, that's got to hurt. I mean, right there, great pocket poise by Bednarczyk. Watch him step up into the pocket. That's beautiful work there. Climb the pocket, make an accurate throw, and you just need your guy to catch the football for you. That's first down, and you're getting ready to try to score. Instead, you're kicking a field goal.
Drew Keski comes on. Field goal opportunity here.
Look out for the block here.
They're looking to tie this game at 3. Kresge lets it fly, has good distance on this one. Off the post! Had enough leg. The accuracy was off for the sophomore from Douglasville, Pennsylvania. And these teams cannot find the end zone, and now Villanova can't put this one through the uprights. It stays 3-0.
My goodness. Both defenses playing really good red zone defense. The offenses are moving the ball between the 20s, but cannot get in the end zone. And, I mean, right there, he thinks that ball's going through, and oh, that body English doesn't help him.
Can't believe it. Sends it left from 42.
And like we said, there's some wind out there. That ball was helped to go wide left. And that's some painful stuff right there.
Temple back at it. Marchie, quick out. Almost intercepted. 2 Wildcats had a crack at it, but no, it's a reception for Ventel Bryant.
Ooh, boy. I mean, that almost went the other way. Malik Reeves and Rashawn Stewart could have had that easily. Ooh, boy. I mean, you got 3 defenders around Ventel Bryant. They got the memo. This guy can play, yet it's still complete.
Marchie looking to throw. Under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Rolling right. Has time now. Pressure. He's dragged down. That's a quarterback sack.
Jeff Steeb appears to be shaken up.
And came over to make that play, the junior.
They can't afford any injuries. I mean, let's just be honest. They just don't have the depth that Temple has. Watch Steeb pursue this ball inside out. Fake the run here, and here comes Steeb inside out. You see a lot of players overrun the football. Great angle, tackling his inside leg, using the sideline as a defender. That's great football play right there. Not sure exactly what he hurt. Usually when you have a guy come down on a foot or ankle, you get the wind knocked out of you. And just him being on that knee right now, I'm not going to sit here and say that's exactly what it is, but it looks familiar to me, partner. I played enough football, had the wind knocked out of me enough. That's what it looks like. And it's funny because for about 90 seconds, you feel like you're going to die, right? And after that 90 seconds, you're pretty doggone good. But the way he's trotting off, you got to feel good that he'll be back in.
Capital One halftime report on the way. Nice look at week 1 in college football. And then, of course, we'll look at the polls here. Both these teams expecting big things in their conferences and much more that's coming up at the half. Meanwhile, second down, Marchie looking to throw again. That's complete. Pushing towards the 50 and spinning down is Bryant again. And he's getting in a groove now.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. What I like there about Marchie, he saw the blitz coming from the outside. They decided to rush forward. He knew he had man coverage, and he got that ball out of his hands quickly.
Looking to hurry here. Marchie looking to throw again across the middle. That's complete to the 25-20. And Temple's on the move as we approach 1 minute to play. And this one complete to Isaiah Wright.
They got a lot of receivers. Greg, I mean, and this Marchie kid's getting hot. And we told you if he's in the pocket, He can throw the ball as well as anybody. And that ball is accurate. Look at the balance and his footwork. Beautiful.
Owls knocking on the door. Marching to throw. Goes to the end zone. Puts it up and incomplete. Intended for Kenny Iyaboa. A little too far ahead of the tight end. He couldn't come up with it.
So right now, Temple has shown no ability to run the football consistently. But Marchie said, put it on my shoulders. I'm good enough to carry us.
And they've shown the ability to make completions downfield against this Villanova defense.
Against very good coverage. I've seen double coverage, I've seen triple coverage, and still they come down with the football.
Second down now. Ball on the 18. 49 seconds to play. First half. Pressure coming. Marchie there. Completes it off to Hood. He won't get much. Villanova does a nice job closing the gap there. Keeling Hunter coming over for the stop, the sophomore.
Beautiful play. I mean, they had it set up right there. He comes underneath, knifes under the block, and he's the only guy that can make that play, and he makes it because that's a touchdown if he doesn't.
22 seconds and counting to play. Temple working against the clock here. Third down. Marchie now to throw. Has all day once more. Firing across the middle. Complete at about the 1. But the clock is ticking. And now they'll stop it as they'll spot it here for the first down. That's complete to Jennings. Adonis Jennings had that monster grab earlier. Comes up with a big one here going down to the turf.
Great catch, and what a throw again by Marchie. We've been sending it all day. I mean, he puts that ball where only his guy can catch it, and that's just great execution.
And they will take a look. So he went to the ground for this one. The senior, Adonis Jennings.
Usually you don't see those tall guys able to get low and get that football. And let's see if that ball hits the turf, though. Marchie again in the pocket, surveying the defense, goes through his progressions. That ball was tipped, by the way. Great concentration either way by Adonis Jennings.
The first angle didn't tell you much in the way of conclusive evidence.
Ooh.
And there again, does he control it all the way to the ground is the question. Officials looking at this one.
Well, first thing, in all review situations, you got to look at the call on the field. The call on the field was complete.
Correct.
So the only way that they're going to reverse this is if it's conclusive evidence that it was an incomplete pass, and here's the best look at it. And I say maybe, which is not good enough to
That's
overturn.
why you're up here, not over the replay.
There you go. There you go. We met those guys before the game, and I'm like, hey, if you need me, I'm here, but I don't want them calling me now because that's too close to call. I mean, it looked like maybe that ball hit the ground, but again, maybe it's not going to be good enough. It has to be conclusive. Just from his hand position, though, partner, I'm not sure that he had full control. What do you think?
It's tough to tell here, and you have the shadows playing a factor here with the sun on the field, distorting that image a bit. The officials are going to get a better look at this one likely than we will. And to your point, right, it has to be so clear that it was not a catch in this case because the ruling on the field was a grab. Now, second look there, it looks like it may have gone through his hands as we look through it one more time.
It does, but again, the key word is you said may.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it probably did, but may and probably, the rules say, aren't enough to overturn. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they go with here. Villanova's going to their goal line defense. It looks like they're deciding.
After further review, the ruling the field stands. First down, Temple.
And you notice the words he used, he didn't say confirm.
Yeah.
He said it stands, which is exactly what we were talking about. It probably was not a catch.
Yeah.
But because of the way the rules are written, probably is not good enough to overturn.
And that's where it can lead to frustration here for coaches. You have this review system in place, you take the time for it, and then you feel like it occurs and you still don't get the justified outcome in your own mind. In any event, it's come down to this here now. First and goal on the 1 with 5 seconds left here. Temple's not going to take the points. In a field goal, they're going to go for it, it looks like.
Look out for play action here.
Marchie up the gut, surging ahead. Touchdown Owls. They knew what they were doing. They gave it off to the fullback, Sharga, and he drives that pile forward. And the Owls have got this game's first touchdown.
You have to really, really trust your fullback and really, really trust your offensive line, because if they don't score, then the clock's going to run out. That's why I was thinking play action in case they don't get what they want, they can throw it out of bounds. But you can trust a guy that's 6'4", 200 or 6'2", I'm sorry, 240 pounds, and has the power in his legs like Sharga.
Point after opportunity here for Jones. That is up and good. It's a 10-0 lead for Temple. Now, I guess if you're going to talk about having the juice and bringing the swag, you go for it.
That's right.
First and goal with a couple of seconds to play.
Right. I mean, you got to justify the bravado that you love in your program, and didn't Coach Skid right there. Very aggressive. And again, you give it to your big guys. You got to remember, the Temple starting offensive line averages 6'3", 303. The starting defensive line for Nova goes 6'1", 248 pounds. So you better be able to push them back for a yard and a half.
And what a punch to the gut here for Villanova, right? You think that you're going into halftime, we're out of the woods, 3-0, nice job first half. Still within shouting distance, but 10-0 is a different story.
Yeah, and you look at the missed field goal, that certainly would have kept it a one-score game. They've got to be feeling really good about themselves in terms of how they played. It just looks like right now they have no answer for Ventel Bryant or Adonis Jennings. They're getting big plays, explosive plays down the field through the pass. Let's see if they can make an adjustment at halftime to take that away.
McGrigg and Roll back to return this one. We'll be sure Temple doesn't want to give anything highly returnable, and it'll be a low squib kick here. It'll bounce down, and Roll will take it at around the 15. Rob Roll working towards the 25. Ball pops loose, fumble, still on the ground. And they'll dog pile around it. And if you thought things weren't going well for Villanova, that was a chance for it to go even in a more terrible direction, but they get out of dodge. We run out of time here in the first half, and Temple takes a 10-0 lead into the halftime, excuse me. So a slow start here offensively in Philadelphia, and then the offense has gotten geared. Temple surging towards the end zone, and they get on the board with Nick Sharga. They're in front 10-0 in their home opener.
Welcome to the Capital One Halftime Report.
And we're back here at the half. Temple leads Villanova 10-0. Second half coming up, but first let's take a look back at the sights and sounds of week 1 in college football.
USC has a blind snapper, and his name is Jake Olson. Olson has been blind since he was 12 years old.
How about this for an inspirational moment? He is out there snapping. And a good snap from Jake.
I want to say I'm a Trojan and have a snap under my belt in the Coliseum. I mean, is there anything more special?
Oh, we know you are ready for it. One of the great opening games in the history of college football. Ridley's running free. He's got a touchdown. Tied.
Look at this. How about a sack, fumble, score? Gets away from the defender, looking downfield, letting it fly. And it's pulled in for the touchdown. Saquon, say gone.
Lamar Jackson, this guy is impressive. This guy is hell-bent for election.
Mayfield floats it. Calcaterra, touchdown.
If we all thought that we were going to come in here and sprinkle some fairy dust on this team, we're wrong.
That's why college football is so special. You see stuff every game that you've never seen before.
Liberty with a shocker in Waco.
UNLV was a whopping 45.5-point favorite. Howard pulling off the unthinkable.
This kid is special.
Over the middle. Oh, touchdown Bruins.
Josh Rosen under pressure. Throws.
Caught in the end zone. Touchdown.
Rosen back pile on. Caught. Touchdown. Unbelievable.
10-0 Temple leads at the half. We're back with more on the Capital One Halftime Report after this.
Welcome back to the Capital One Halftime Report.
Temple in front 10-0. Tyoka Jackson, Greg Meskel here with you, and this is an American Conference battle against a CAA sponsored team. And we look first, Tioga, at the American Athletic Conference. Temple wants to be on top of this. They won the conference last year. It's a very competitive league.
It really is. Houston's going to be hurting because they lost Tom Herman to Texas, but USF is a heck of a football team. I mean, Willie Taggart left that cupboard really full. Charlie Strong's got a good football team, and they're going to make some noise this year.
Owls have their work cut out. Now looking over to the CAA. James Madison is not just the class of the CAA, they're the class of the FCS. They're, of course, picked to finish first in the Colonial, but Villanova not far behind in third. Villanova going to the FCS playoffs the last couple of years. They want to get back there again. They'll have to hunt down Richmond and JMU.
Yeah, I mean, again, at the top half of this league, very competitive, but Villanova's been doing this for a long time. JMU is just now starting to come up and be the big boys on campus, but that's going to be a heck of a battle throughout the whole fall.
Highlights and stats on the way. Halftime here in Philly. We're back with more after this.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is all right with me. Oh, baby, let's stay together.
Welcome back to the Capital One Halftime Report.
And welcome back. Temple 10, Villanova nothing here at halftime in Philadelphia. And now we got a special feature for you here as we take a look back at our Capital One fan vote. And this brings us back to the big Florida State-Alabama matchup. And it was a tough day for Florida State. DeAndre Francois getting injured in this one as Alabama victorious in this big season opener. Thrilling to see two high-level teams get together to start the season 1 versus 3, and Alabama holding serve in that one as we welcome back here to Lincoln Financial Field. Tioga Jackson, Greg Mesko here with you. Tioga, slow start offensively, and then late in that first half, Temple started to get things in gear. They finally got 6 on the board. Let's take a look at some highlights.
Yeah, I mean, both defenses showed up ready to play from the beginning. It sort of was, like you said, a slow start offensively. Field goals, but it was great red zone defense being played. Temple could not get the ball in the end zone. Villanova had their chance to tie it up, missed it even with the body English there. And then Temple started to get the ball going downfield. I mean, what a heck of a day so far for Ventel Bryant. He's on pace to get double-digit catches. Keith Kirkwood is on pace to go over 100 yards. Jennings is on pace to go over the 100 yards. So they found a home for the football through the air. And then when you got a heck of a fullback by Nick Sharga, you give him the football. It's been a Nick Sharga show, really. I mean, they've been really good defensively against Armstead, but Hood and Sharga have been able to run the football a little bit for Temple. It's going to be interesting to see in the second half if they can get their running game going and try to overwhelm this Villanova defense.
Yeah, some halftime numbers here. Penalties have plagued Temple early, 5 of those for 35 yards. They've overcome them, and once they got in the groove late, they were able to put some yards up and put some points on the board. Second half is coming up here in Philly. We're back with more from Lincoln Financial Field. Stay close.
Larry, you got to get those burgers off the grill.
Doug Flutie? Who threw the Hail Larry?
You mean a Hail Mary?
Tomato, potato, man.
Those are 2 different words.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper, hip! Let's go!
Let's take a look at today's campus moment brought to you by Dr. Pepper. And this is the Temple faithful fired up after the big Nick Sharga 1-yard touchdown run. They are hyped. Your Dr. Pepper campus moment. You're watching the American Conference on ESPN, where it's a 10-0 lead for Temple over Villanova, this Philadelphia football rivalry. So far, the Owls in charge. Tioga Jackson, Greg Mesko here with you. A 10-0 lead. But Villanova has been in this game. They just haven't seen it materialize with points.
Yeah, they should feel good about themselves. They should clear that first half and understand that, yes, it says 10-0 on the score, but they are really playing Temple evenly. If they didn't miss a field goal, they barely miss a field goal. It would be a 1-score ball game, 7-point ball game. They got to feel good where they are. Now, they're not here for a participation medal like we said before. They've got to play a little bit better pass defense. They got to get a little bit better rush in order to win this game, and I'm sure that's what they're feeling like they can do at this point.
Adonis Jennings, Mike Jones back to return this one. It'll head towards Jones. He takes it inside the 5 to the 20, breaks a tackle to the 25, and then rolled down near the 30.
Now, if you're Temple right now, they've got to be thinking, we've got to run the football better. We've got to come out and establish our physicality. That's who we are. We're known for a very, very physical football team. Our offensive line is much bigger, should be stronger. We should be able to pound these guys in the second half. It's going to be very interesting to see if they come out and try to run the football and establish that.
Numbers here on Logan March. He got in a groove. It was interesting. Once they started to get in a bit of a 2-minute drill, he really came alive.
Yeah, he's been great. There's no question about that.
He'll look to pass here again. Slings it out near side. Low throw, complete. Broderick Yancey able to come up with it, the redshirt junior from Florida.
That's just like a run. Throw that ball very safely to the outside. Try to get a hat on a hat, make a guy miss, and make a big play out of a short pass. But again, that's positive yards. 2nd and 2. They'll take it all day long.
2 yards to go. Marchi will throw once more. Again, he's had plenty of time. Pocket collapsing. Now he'll have to roll out way to the right. Nearly tripped up. Now reversing field. Lets it fly, and that was incomplete down the sideline. Somehow had time to get that ball off.
Excellent pursuit by Janata Johnson right there. And just ran out of time, Marchi. He did all he could do. Not a whole lot of decisions to throw the football right there. I mean, you got a rush coming, and you got great coverage downfield. He tried to get all of it out of it he could. And very smart decision to throw the ball right at the end and save the yardage and save the sack for his offensive line.
Yeah, I saw a couple of receivers there trying to break away late, but not enough time.
And just throwing that ball away right there keeps it 3rd and 2. If he takes that sack, it's a whole different 3rd down proposition for their offense.
He'll go handoff. Right, turning the corner, has the first down, cuts it back, and he'll move the chains for Temple.
3rd and 2, you can run anything in the playbook. I mean, if it's 3rd and long, it's a whole different call. But 3rd and 2, you can run Isaiah Wright across the formation, and he just outruns the perimeter of the defense. Great blocking downfield by the offensive, or excuse me, by the wide receivers. If you play football for Temple and you're a wide receiver, you have got to be able to block because they love to run the football, whether it's the tailbacks or through their wide receivers.
And Isaiah Wright, a guy the coaches told us could run, could catch. Marchi to throw. That's complete. Near the first down markers, hooking up with Keith Kirkwood once more. Kirkwood, circuitous route here to Philadelphia from Neptune, New Jersey. Played a season at the University of Hawaii where he was a contributor and then transferred here to Temple.
6'3", 220 pounds. He can run. He's a Paul Hornung and Warfel Award watch list guy. They've got some really talented players on their perimeter.
Hard to get much further away, Temple to Hawaii in college football. 2nd and 1. Marchi throwing again, quick out, complete, first down, and then some. Slings it out right side. Adonis Jennings, he's been a playmaker in this one.
No question about it. Like we said, he's on pace to go over 100 for the day. Runs a nice hook route. And again, Marchi is excellent in the pocket. That ball comes out fast. There is no pass rush possibility when that ball comes out on time like that.
15-yard completion to Jennings. And now they're cruising on offense here into Villanova territory on the Wildcat 32. Marchi, he's been passing all second half. Way downfield, tipped up and incomplete. Rob Roll was covering as he went down to Isaiah Wright, but incomplete.
That time Villanova has ran their version of single high safety and man underneath. Really good job of safety help coming over the top, and the DB knew it. In really good position. That ball had to be perfectly thrown in order to be completed, and as you saw, it wasn't. And that's what you want to do defensively in the secondary. They're going to complete some passes, but make it as hard as possible. Make the quarterback have to throw almost perfect throws down the field, and 9 times out of 10, that's just not going to happen over and over.
2nd down. They go handoff here. Armstead leaves one tackler behind to the 30, and then bowls over another before he's driven out of play. That was Jaquan Amos defending as Armstead able to scamper for a couple.
Really good perimeter defense. He couldn't quite turn that corner. I love when physical defensive backs come up and support the run. I just love it. In the day and age of these cover corners and finesse cornerbacks, I like when DBs come up and support the run. You're on the football field too. We need you to help out the run. Great job there.
Teamwork, a big theme on this Temple squad. 3rd and 5, Marchie throwing wide open, but couldn't find his man. That was intended for Yancey, who broke free. The throw was behind him.
Oh boy, that probably was the worst throw of the day. He had time. That should have been that should have been a touchdown, really. Again, really good blocking by that offensive line, and you got a guy wide open. You just flat out miss him, threw it behind him into the outside. That ball should be in front of him, writing his numbers, and Mr. Marchie says, I wish I had that one back.
This will be Bumeri coming on. It's a 44-yard attempt, so they trust him on the longer tries. He missed his first crack at it. Second one is on the way. And this one again, but this time it's good. A 44-yard connection for Bumeri, so he's able to come back after missing earlier and put Temple ahead 13-0.
Temple gets some points on the board, but again, Villanova should be happy. No touchdown there, forcing a field goal. They'll take it all day long, and we'll be back.
The juice is flowing on that Temple sideline. It's what they call energy around here. And they like where they're at, ahead 13-0 here in the 3rd.
I love it. They actually practice the juice squad. They get hyped. They love it.
That's all coming from the mind of this man, Jeff Collins. And he's got coaches that are now swag coordinators and swag coaches, and they keep people in line. They have an actual person on staff, a specialist with advanced graphics that handles the swag imagery and social media and all the different things they've put together, and it just really has upped the energy on this Temple Owl program.
It's a game. This is big-time college athletics, but this is a game. You're supposed to have fun. You got 100 guys on the sidelines. Get them involved.
Bumeri sends this one down towards the 10. It's taken there. McGriggs, and he is drilled shy of the 20.
That's what that juice gets you right there. Gets everybody hyped. Gets your coverage teams hyped, and they want to go down and make a play for their team. Woo. Yeah, that'll wake you up. You awake now, partner?
Yeah, McGrigg.
That'll get you going right there.
McGrigg was on the move, and then not so fast. Quenku. William Quenku, the sophomore, comes in on the stop.
He'll get recognized for that in the film room. You can believe that one.
First down for Villanova. They go handoff, and Temple reads it the whole way. One of those single-digit extra Temple tough guys coming in for the stop there, Sharif Finch.
Yeah, those single-digit guys are the toughest guys on the football team, and Finch gets upfield and says, you're not getting outside of me. Tremendous play there by the defensive end. Only 6'4", 250, but he can run, and he's 250 all muscle there, partner.
And he's excited to be back in the mix. Only played 4 games last year with a knee injury, so he's feeling good being back on the field and making an impact here. Bednarczyk now to throw, goes way downfield, has a man, that is caught beyond the 40. Able to hook up with Chenga Hodge.
That time they beat the man coverage. They've been playing man coverage all day, and one of the man beaters is to go crossing routes. Great throw right there.
This time they keep it on the ground. Unable to advance for a couple. Good Zach on the carry.
That's one of the adjustments that we've seen from Sam Venuto. If you're going to play a bunch of man coverage, I got to figure out how to get my guys open. And there's 2 ways to get deep in college football: straight down the field on go routes or crossing routes. That was a great pattern run by Hodge, and Bednarczyk put it exactly where it's supposed to be.
2nd and 5. Villanova desperate to get on the board here, trailing 13-0. Bednarczyk to throw. Incomplete. Tried to swing it out to Ryan Bell. He couldn't hang on.
That's the sort of play you got to hit on there. I mean, they needed that guy in the flat. It's 3rd and 6. It's just past what would be manageable. They connect right there with Bell. That's 3rd and short or 1st down, one or the other.
There's a look of frustration there on head coach Mark Ferrante's face.
He knew he had him. It was well designed. It was the right play call. Just need to execute better.
So 3rd down now, 5 yards to go for Villanova. Bednarczyk will throw here. Pressure coming, throwing off the back foot, complete, turning the corner, good for a 1st down and then some. In space now to the 30 and upended there. That's a big run for Taurus Phillips.
Great job on money down for Villanova. A little bit of pressure. He feels it and slides, and that's overrun there. And when you overrun the ball, big things happen for the offense.
Back to Phillips again to the 30, 20, and he keeps it moving for Villanova. This was something Temple talked about, things they didn't do well against Notre Dame, missed some gap assignments, didn't stay in their lanes, in their spots on defense, and it cost them.
And tempo. They struggled a little bit with the tempo, up-tempo offense. And you see Villanova, they watch film. They see it exactly. When you put bad stuff on film, it's amazing how the other team tries to figure that out and run it themselves. I mean, it's a copycat league in the NFL. It's also copycat in college football as well.
So Villanova now charging down the field on offense, reminiscent of Temple at the end of the 1st half. They go handoff, Forbes to the right. He'll get a couple.
I like the way Villanova is mixing in the run. They do not want to get one-dimensional against this Temple defense. You got to keep calling the runs. Yeah, they haven't busted anything long necessarily, but it's the threat of the run that allows these passing lanes to get open.
Have to keep the defense honest. The coach has told us about the desire for balance, and you can't have that if you don't stay committed to the run.
I still got to find a way to get the ball to 85, though. We're in the red zone. We got a big-time tight end. He's been a matchup problem all day. Look his way.
2nd and 8 on the 16. Bednarczyk is. Now he's in trouble. Lets it fly as he's hit. And that is incomplete. Sailing to the side. Will it be intentional grounding?
It sure should be. And Jacob Martin made an excellent pass rush, and I don't know how. There we go.
Flag comes in now.
I was going to say, I don't know how he got away without that one.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 14. Spot foul. Lost him down. It's 3rd down.
That was Jacob Martin, the senior from Aurora, Colorado, on the big rush. And Bednarczyk let this one fly, but there's nobody home where that ball lands.
How about a beautiful inside move by Martin? Watch this. Whoop! Inside with a swim move. Beautiful one-on-one pass rush. And it's amazing when you got a hot quarterback getting the ball out of the field, all you need is 4 guys can rush the passer. That take care of any quarterback. Again, a great pass rush is the kryptonite to any quarterback.
They call Martin Mr. President because of his leadership skills, and led the charge right there for a big takedown, forcing the penalty. Now 3rd and a mile. Bednarczyk stepping up, in trouble, breaks free, incomplete again off the hands, looking for Chenga Hodge. He couldn't hold it.
Hodge is looking for a flag, but forget the flag. You got to catch the football, Mr. Hodge. That ball was put right on both mitts. Great job of climbing the pocket by Bednarczyk. Excellent job keeping his poise. Gets that front foot down. That's a catch. I mean, sure, it's a little behind you, but that's a catch.
Well, it's going to be hard, too, to convince the official of anything when the ball's off your hands.
Yeah.
As you alluded to. And Villanova in a hole now.
And they wouldn't have picked up the 1st down there, but what they would have done was put themselves in position for a field goal. And certainly you haven't been great with your field goal offense, but still, you kick a field goal there, it's a 1-score game. Now they're going for it on 4th and a mile.
Yeah, 4th and 25 on the Temple 33, and a promising drive is down to this. Bednarczyk lets it fly way downfield. That's a catch! Chenga Hodge is there, but he's going to be shy of a 1st down. Heck of a grab, but not the needed yardage. It'll do at least the job of pushing Temple back. A nice individual play from Hodge.
Yeah, what a rush again by Martin. He's showing up big, puts the pressure. Great throw under duress. I mean, that's an excellent effort and throw. And Hodge says, okay, I dropped the first one, which is a little easy, but I'm going to go up and make this play. Just wasn't quite enough yardage for the 1st down.
Injured Temple player down on the far side of the field. Hodge with that grab. He's a guy who was hurt last year as well, missed the first 7 games. It's another guy that's back healthy, big things expected.
He's a young player. They say he's inconsistent, but he's got great upside, and you've seen his inconsistency. Again, he's dropped the ball and looking for the officials to bail him out with a flag, and then he comes back and makes a great play. He'll learn that let the officials do their job. You just make every play that's available to you.
Sharif Finch shaken up. He's on his feet. We're back after this. And we're back. Third quarter action. 13-0. Temple leading Villanova. Temple back on offense with quarterback Logan Marchie. Took over this year for Philip Walker. Marchie to throw. And that's complete to Armstead. And Wiley in on the stop there.
What I like to see from Wiley is go ahead and shoot your gun. He kind of shuffled his feet and broke down there. That gave Armstead an opportunity to get positive yards. If you're pursuing inside and out, go ahead and go get the football. Use the sideline as the extra defender.
Couple yards there. Marchie to throw again. Again Armstead. And he'll pick up a couple more beyond the 15.
Now, did Wiley hear me? Because you see how that time he shot his gun, right?
Yeah.
No breakdown. I mean, you sort of get taught in pee-wee football, breakdown. No. You know your pursuit angle. You're inside out. Take the proper angle. And don't dance with a dancer. Go put a lick on him. That time he did in minimal gain.
Marchie winning a quarterback battle coming out of camp. Out of 3 other quarterbacks, a big competition.
It's a big play for this Villanova defense. They get off the field here, they're going to have good field position.
And Marchie to throw. And the defense holds there because that pass was to nobody in particular. Miscommunication there. So after a couple of short gains to Armstead, they quickly come up on a 4th down.
That was an excellent job of rerouting the receiver. Pushed them all the way out of bounds. There was nothing doing on that side of the field. That's it. And again, that's the stop you needed if you're Villanova. Right now, you should get the ball right around midfield, which is obviously excellent starting position. And it's time now to get the ball in the end zone and at least change the scoreboard if you're Villanova.
Starzyk to punt. Torres Phillips at about the 43 to take this one. Starzyk gets that one away as the rush was oncoming. Phillips will let it bounce at the 50. And he will steer clear of this football, which will roll just beyond the 40, where Temple will down it there.
Now, see, you got to field that ball, in my opinion, partner. I mean, you got to come up, call for a catch, and catch that football. It cost him 12 yards, and that's 12 important yards when you're down by 13.
Erring on the side of caution, but yardage coming at a price. Villanova back on offense after this. (13-0) Temple, but Villanova showing signs of life here in the third quarter on offense, and they've had some nice plays throughout this game, just hasn't resulted in points just yet.
Great starting position right now, though. You got to come away with something here.
Scored 38 last week against Lehigh. Here's Bednarczyk. That's complete. Finding Hodge down the sideline and able to move the chains again.
And that's a big-time throw right there. You're getting pounded by Princey Roche, and he doesn't blink. Like, you're not looking. That's not a guy looking at the rush. I mean, he gets that ball out of his hands accurately under pressure, and that's what you want from a quarterback. Quarterbacks are tough guys too, Greg. As much as I hate quarterbacks as a former lineman, it is what it is. They're tough guys too.
It's very, very big of you to offer this compliment here to quarterbacks.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
You only spent 15 years trying to put him in the ground. Bednarczyk now. He'll take it himself and closing it on the 40. Look here at the numbers for the Villanova quarterback, and strong stats. All it's missing is the TD category there.
And also haven't thrown to the other team. I mean,
yeah,
that's
has not turned it over.
Yeah, and so that's 2 weeks in a row so far. And they got to just get the ball in the end zone. But again, he's been pretty efficient and made some big plays.
Second down here, 8 to go. Just into Temple territory. Fakes the handoff, looking to throw. Going downfield, complete Forbes wide. Oh, he couldn't hang on, had it momentarily, and then couldn't continue. Looking upfield before he secured that one.
Now, Zach's got to be just feeling really bad right now because his numbers are pretty good, but he's had multiple guys drop balls on him. And that's a beautiful throw and a big-time play for this offense. He needs to just keep throwing it to these guys and believe that they're going to catch the football, but they got to make a play for their team. I mean, that's the type of play. Now he's money down, 3rd and long. That should be 1st and 10, getting ready to get into the red zone. Those are the type of unforced errors you just can't make when you're playing against a team that's bigger, stronger, and faster.
Big 3rd down here. Bednarczyk, everybody coming. It's complete. They go to Bell for the 1st down to the 30. This is a guy you like, when in doubt, get it to that tight end.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see him putting the ball on the ground. I mean, that's your security blanket. They've got pretty good receivers on the outside, but again, a lot of man coverage from this Temple team, and there's nobody on that field that can stop 85 consistently man-to-man. You're going to start seeing Temple bracketed and double-team 85, because at this point, that's what I'm going to do. I got to make these other receivers beat them because we know 85 can beat you.
1st down here. On the 29. Handoff. Good Zach, doesn't get much. And talk about Ryan Bell, offensive coordinator Sam Venuto said, look, at this level, in a tight end, sometimes you get a big guy and you try and teach him to maybe catch the ball and operate with finesse, or you get a smaller guy to try and get him to play a little bit bigger. He said in Bell, they got a fairly big guy that can also play with finesse and catch the ball.
And right there, you saw him come across the formation and put the defensive end on the ground with a nice wham block. So he can do both, and that's going to make him a pro prospect. First of all, he can catch the football, and he's got some wiggle to him. And then second of all, he's a willing blocker.
Bednarczyk has time, complete across the middle, but paying the price there. A big hit on Zach Kirkston.
Again, zone defense, and Delvin Randall is excellent at it. You see the ball thrown in front of you, you come up, and you make a tackle. And I like this Randall kid. We've promoted and talked about other guys on this defense, but number 2 is showing up big. Had a big hit on Goodzik early in the 1st quarter, and he's a 4-quarter guy. I like this guy.
Yeah, 3rd on the team in tackles a year ago. Randall, a big hit there, and another 3rd down, crucial here. Bednarczyk, here comes the blitz. Bednarczyk escapes pressure, complete. That's good for a 1st down, and stepping out of play on the run, Taurus Phillips.
Excellent job. Again, when you got a cool customer as your trigger man, pressure means nothing to him. Watch these ice water veins. Beautiful job of sliding outside, makes an accurate throw on the run, and nobody's home. That's a blown coverage right there, folks. When you bring more than they can block, you better get the quarterback, because if not, you're going to have some receivers open.
And Phillips, after that catch, he's getting stretched out on the sideline in the meantime. 1st and 10 on the 11, so knocking on the door here are the Villanova Wildcats, looking for their 1st score in this one. They go handoff. Temple read it the whole way. Good Zach on the carry, and he was swallowed up by Chappelle Russell.
It's a big play. That's a big play in this game. Negative yard, you can't have it right now in the red zone. That's physical. Nice job.
And hyped after the play.
Of course.
And now a 2nd and 15.
You know who I'm looking for. I've been saying it all game. I know it's a broken record, but have they really covered 85 yet?
Ryan Bell on the near side. Here's Bednarczyk, 2nd down. To throw. In trouble. Breaks free somehow. Stepping. And then he is hammered. Ball pops loose. Villanova recovers. And Bednarczyk shaken up. Dana Levine charging in hard.
He's one of those linebackers. They got a bunch of linebackers, 7 of them that they play. He's a sophomore, 6'4", 225 pounds. And when Temple flies around like this, folks, it looks like they got 14, 15 guys on the field instead of 11. And that's a great job. Look at his blood and water. I'm coming to get it. Nice job, 51, Dana Levine. Give a lot of credit to that quarterback. I mean, he tried to keep it going and took a big hit at the end, almost a turnover.
Chazar, the offensive lineman, quick thinking, jumps on that fumble. 3rd and very long. They were at the 11. Now they're on the 30. They dump it off short. Good Zach tries to turn the corner and doesn't get much. inside the 30, and what was once a promising first down for Villanova has been held off by this Temple defense.
Great job of red zone defense, and Sean Chandler, one of the better safeties in all of America right there. Comes up and makes a tackle in space. He's a heck of a football player. He and Delvin Randall make a great tandem, don't they?
Fun to watch there, pursuing the ball and the ball carrier.
Those are some really good safeties.
44-yard attempt on the way here from Drew Kresge. Villanova looking for their first point. He's 0 for 1 so far. This one has the distance, and it is on point, and Villanova is on the board, courtesy a Drew Kresge field goal.
Well, we said Villanova had to come away with points, and that's exactly what they did. Obviously, you want 7 in that situation, but it was vital for them getting this deep into the third quarter to change the scoreboard. They were able to do that, and remember, it all started with a nice punt, pinning them back up, and then the defense getting a 3 and out.
Confidence builder there for Coach Ferranti and his club. Interesting game here in that it's 2 new head coaches. 2 guys in their second game officially as a head coach, both different circumstances. Collins coming from Florida for Temple, Ferranti, a longtime Villanova guy, and you talk with both of them, and they say, you know what, the big difference was I have a lot more free time now right. on game days. They're used to being position coaches and being involved with their groups. Now they're looking for people to hang out with.
Yeah, those are 2 guys that understand that you got to delegate. You hire a really good staff and then let them coach. I mean, one of the worst things you can do as a head coach is spend all that time and money getting yourself a staff, and then you try to micromanage and do too much. So they're trying to get used to this little bit of extra time on the sidelines because they're allowing their guys to coach them up, and they'll continue to get better. And that's the thing about people don't talk about it. Players get better, coaches get better and better every week too.
Onside kick attempt here. And Villanova comes down with no, the ball pops loose. They had it momentarily, couldn't hang on, and Temple will have it. Well, the Temple coach has told us they expect a couple of trick plays out of this Villanova team.
Yeah.
And that was one there, and they had it. That was drawn up about as well as you could have hoped for, and they couldn't hang on.
Well, remember, that was one of the keys to the game. Be on the screws for the trick plays, and it was beautifully executed. I mean, look at that. He had 2 chances at it. Oh, my goodness.
Trey Johnson was there. He couldn't hang on.
Mike Ferranti said, we have to execute first. Forget about FCS, FBS. We've got to do our jobs and execute at a high level what we're doing first, and then we can worry about the opponent. That was the beautiful call, perfect opportunity. They got all the momentum, and boy, just couldn't come away with the football there, and that one stings. But if you're on defense now for Villanova, you got to clear that and go play.
Credit Kenny Yeboah with coming up with that recovery for Temple after Nova had 2 cracks at it. They go handoff here now, and surging forward for a couple, and then some before stumbling down inside Villanova territory. Jagger Gardner.
Love the call. You got to get this running game established if you're Temple. I mean, that's one of the things you got to come out of this game with, that we can run the football against anybody. And they've got 3 really good backs, and 6'2", 219, and he's got some speed to him.
Nice
job.
Some size. He takes on that block and just keeps on trucking.
Very nice.
1st and 10. Temple on the Villanova 46. This is a very big possession here. Could be a big turning point in this game from the onside kick that wasn't to be to a potential scoring drive here for the Owls.
Look at the 4 fingers going up for Temple.
As we have come to the end of the 3rd quarter. 4th quarter on the way for Temple, looking to hold serve here in their home opener in 2017. And they have gotten their offense in here, ahead now, 13-3.
It was given the name Death Valley for a reason. Good luck escaping alive.
Do you believe that you can win this fight tonight? Do you believe that you can walk
13-3, Temple leads Villanova. Tayoka Jackson, Greg Meskel here with you. That's going to be a good one tonight, by the way. 13 Auburn, number 3, Clemson.
I like Auburn. I think Auburn's going to surprise some people this year in the SEC. ACC, you know, you can make an argument that it might be the best conference in America right now.
Temple going handoff. Jagger Gardner on the carry, running left, and he'll get a couple.
Temple's really trying to test the speed of Villanova's defense. Great job of stringing it out right there. Jeff Steed. Jeff Steed came all the way from his middle linebacker position to make a play on the sidelines. That's the type of sideline-to-sideline pursuit you need from a MLB.
Penalty there on Leon Johnson will back up the Owls.
I'm telling you, these offensive coaches have got to be concerned about the lack of production up front from their offensive line. They got a big size advantage, and I really think that Villanova's D-line has outpaid them today.
So now facing a 1st and 20. Marchie fires down the middle, hit it, the receiver in the helmet. Looking for Yeboah downfield.
I think the slip might have hurt him, but I think what all young football players need to remember is you want to catch the ball with your hands. You don't want to body catch it, and Yeboah was trying to basket body catch that football. Get those hands out in front, create a diamond with your hands, and that ball will never eat you up like that. See, he was just trying to cradle that thing, and that'll get you in trouble more often than not if it's a strong throw. Get those hands up, create the diamond. I think number 5 there is trying to talk to him about that. Keith Kirkwood, get those hands out in front of you, Bo. You can catch that football.
Had a drop last week at Notre Dame as well. Here's Marchie now. Little play action. He'll let it fly way downfield. He has Adonis, and it is nearly intercepted. Was going way up for Adonis Jennings into double coverage. Trey Johnson on the scene.
Well, you know, that time, Jennings ran through the double coverage. I mean, that just was not an accurate throw by Marchie. One of the few times we said that, because he's got time, he's got his feet set. If he leads him to the left, see how that ball tries to bring him back? If he leads him to the left, that's a touchdown. I'm just telling you. Jennings outran that double coverage, ran past the safety. The ball just hung up and started to float back behind him. See that? That ball goes to his outside shoulder, upfield and outside shoulder. That's a catch, and at least a big gainer, if not a touchdown.
That's the linebacker, Drew Wiley, down, the sophomore from Pennington, New Jersey.
That's a cramping situation right there, Greg. And we said that probably wouldn't be an issue, but when you get to the water right off the bat and you get that leg up and they're pushing back that toe to stretch that calf muscle, generally that's a cramping situation.
And one of the things to keep an eye on, and we're not sure of Wiley's status going forward, but the depth of both of these teams. And that always comes up, FBS, FCS. One of the big differences they always talk about is depth, and that's something Villanova has to keep in mind.
Sure, and this is a game of attrition. Football always will be that. With all the innovation and all the changes with spread offenses and all these cute plays that they run, it will always come down to the physicality in the trenches and the attrition. Do you have enough guys to play physical football for 4 quarters? And that was one of the advantages coming in. So far it hasn't shown up, but this is the time in the game where fatigue will be a problem if it's going to show up at all.
So the Villanova coaches pointed to, not as deep in some areas as they would like to be.
Yeah, Temple's just got more guys.
Marchie has plenty of time, lets it fly, and that was into triple coverage and intended downfield for Broderick Yancey.
Looks like they got away with a little bit of contact downfield to me, Villanova did.
It's Trey Johnson there, Malik Reeves.
But hey, no flag, no foul, right? I mean,
keep on playing.
Keep playing. That time Temple did a great job of pass pro. Villanova ran a nice stunt inside. Villanova and Temple picked it up. Plenty of time in the pocket for Marchie and just couldn't come up with a connection.
Starzik on to punt, and Villanova, after starting this off with an attempted onside kick that did not work out. Dangerous play here as it was approaching one of the Temple Owl players and then a Villanova player, and now Temple will down it. But you remember back to the end of the third, there was the potential there for Villanova to have that onside kick back. Their defense holds as Temple's unable to put more points on the board. Nova back at it.
If you like defensive football, you're going to love this highlight stream right here. Watch the Temple Owls tackle Look at the run through on every hit. Beautiful, bringing your arms. You want to put pads on pads and make them feel it. Right now, this Villanova offense has only had negative 1 yard rushing, and that's because of a bunch of physical tackling by this Tavar Johnson-led defense.
No surprise, Jeff Collins, longtime defensive coordinator, bringing that Temple tough mentality. That's what he's talking about. Temple defense back out there. 1st and 10 for Villanova. Bednarczyk to throw. Wide open, complete to the 25, and now trying to reverse field and breaking things open here. Torres Phillips.
Wide open, like you said, and here's the reason why. Ryan Bell was double covered. I mean, they're going to take away 85, as you should. Look at it, all these guys around 85. Well, who's going to cover 24? And when you have a dominant player in your receiving core, it commands the attention of the defense. That leaves one-on-one opportunities, in that case, one-on-none opportunities. Great job by Bednarczyk to look off of 85 and hit the open man.
Bednarczyk fakes the handoff, takes it himself, calls his own number up to the 39. Fake the handoff there to McClinton.
That's a guy who doesn't want to force the football, knows that they're backed up, doesn't want to throw interceptions. You take away his primary, he's going to go to his secondary. The secondary is wide open there. Really good positive yards on 1st down, by the way. They've had some good opportunities with quarterback runs. Again, he's not a speedster, all right, but he's really crafty. They have a very well put together offense. They executed really well. Again, we said they had 9 guys back. They know what they're doing. They're not going to beat themselves. Temple's got to beat them.
4 yards to go on 2nd down. Bednarczyk. They'll pitch it out right. Low pitch and a bobble there.
Temple's all over it. Option plays theoretically should never work, Greg, because there's a man for everybody. It's assignment football. You got one guy on the quarterback, one guy on the pitch.
This is Sam Shaw who's come on.
If you're going to run options successfully, it's because you have more speed than the other team. You can literally outrun the assignments. Well, that's just not going to happen against this Temple defense. Villanova's just not quite fast enough to outrun the assignments.
Another big 3rd down here.
Money down.
Villanova was 6 for 13 on 3rd downs coming into this. Bednarczyk to throw. Steps up. Hit as he throws, complete to Bell. Still rumbling to the 50, 45, and a 1st down for Villanova. And we say it again and again, but who do you go to when in trouble?
This guy is something else. I mean, is his name Mark Bavaro or Ron Bell? I can't tell. And for all the young ones, you don't know who Mark Bavaro is, but YouTube him, trust me, you'll figure it out. If you don't double cover this guy, he's going to hurt you. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You got to make your decision on what you're going to do. They took him away earlier, and Bednarczyk threw it to the guy that was open. This time they go man coverage on him, and he beats you. I mean, he's a heck of a football player. Very impressive.
1st and 10 now into Temple territory on the 45. Bednarczyk to throw. Roaming. Incomplete. Off the hands. McGriggs was there, just couldn't gather it in.
The drops again are a problem. And what would Bednarzyk's numbers look like if he didn't have his own teammates dropping the football? What would the offense, would the score be different? The offensive numbers we know would be different. Would they have more points on the board?
Talk about Ryan Bell now, 4 grabs, 67 yards. And there are guys on Villanova, Hodge, Phillips, that have more catches and more yards in this game, but his catches have felt most important.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotten them 1st downs. I'd like to know how many of his catches have gone for 1st down.
Bednarczyk firing, complete. Shaw able to come up with that one. Closing in on a 1st down, he'll be a couple of yards shy.
And just like you mentioned, those other guys may have better numbers, but it all starts with Bell. Bell opens it up for everybody else. He commands so much attention.
4 wide receivers near side. Bednarczyk fakes the shot, goes downfield, lob this one up high, falling down and catching it. A completion for Villanova. Kirkston coming up with that one from the seat of his pants.
What a beautifully designed play by Venuto. They went fake the smoke route, which is that pump there, and then you send 2 guys on 9 routes, which stresses the defense, and the quarterback just has to pick the right one, and that time he did. The ball a little underthrown. Great adjustment, though, to come back and catch that football.
Yeah, I thought maybe a little too much air into that one, but credit Kirkston coming back, the sophomore from Haymarket, Virginia. First and goal on the 10. Wildcats looking to make it a one-score game. Bednarczyk throwing wide open. Touchdown, Villanova. Torres Phillips.
And guess what, Greg? New football game.
Yes, sir.
Brand new game right now. Give credit to Villanova. Shotgun formation, excellent protection. One guy coming late, and you just got a man who got beat one-on-one. Phillips just took advantage of a one-on-one opportunity, beat his man, caught the football, touchdown Villanova.
Kresge for the point after. Kick is on the way, that's all good, and it's a 13-10 game. Zach Bednarczyk, Torres Phillips into the end zone, the receiving leader a year ago. The senior from Beacon, New York has the Wildcat band fired up as they have made this a brand new football game. 10 minutes to play. We've got a good one on our hands here in Philadelphia. Villanova and Temple close.
I want you guys to watch this double post. He had two guys to throw it to, but why not throw it to the outside guy, Torres Phillips, who beat his man to man. Great design by San Venuto. Again, you got man coverage in the red zone, run double post, and just pick your poison.
Kicking off now, taken at the 5. And Mike Jones, a big collision there. He's driven backwards to the 15.
There's a thing in this game called momentum, Greg. And right now the momentum is on the sidelines of the team in white. And Temple's got to do something to get it back. Great coverage there on the kickoff, and big hits happens. It's amazing when you start getting excited what happens. The juice is on the white team side.
Yeah, they stole some of the juice, some of the swag on an 8-play, 91-yard drive that resulted in the Torres Phillips touchdown grab. Phillips now 6 grabs, 94 yards on the touch. And how about Bednarczyk? 22 for 35, 324 yards.
Got to get it done. And if you're Temple, I think you got to run the football. You grab the momentum back by now starting to punish this front and see if you can take them into a place where they just can't go. It's a game of attrition, like I said before.
3 bunch to the near side. They go wide receiver screen. That is complete to Adonis Jennings, but flags come in at the end.
He's going to be holding. Nick Sharga.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 4. Out the distance to the goal. First down.
He called it Sharga.
Had the wrong call, but the right guy. Generally, when you see perimeter plays and flags come in right there, they throw it right at the infraction to let everybody know where it was coming from. It was nothing near but a bunch of white jerseys and one blocker. So just the process of elimination, it had to be on the offense.
You know, as this one stays close, you start to think FCS, FBS. It was a week ago. 4 big wins for the FCS over the FBS. Perhaps none wilder than Howard winning at UNLV.
Right.
Here's Marchi to throw. Complete across the middle. Will be shy of a first down, but does a nice job eating up some of that yardage to Broderick Yancey.
Big time. Temple has been able to throw the ball all day. And when your quarterback is hot and you've got great poise, you just keep putting it in his hands. But at some point, again, they're going to have to establish a running game.
They've been pass heavy here in the second half.
Definitely. And they don't want to be. That's not who their offense is.
Marchi to throw again. That's complete. Losing some yardage, backpedaling was Ventel Bryant. Well, he tried to double back, find a different lane, cost himself a little bit.
And I can hear my old coach Joe Berterno yelling at our wideouts at Penn State, get up the field. I mean, you just can't do it. You got to catch that ball, get right upfield. You're giving away yardage in a tight ball game. You just can't afford to do it. And now it's 3rd and 5 when it should be about 3rd and 1.5, 3rd and 2.
Under 9 minutes to play, 3rd and 4. Still not where they wanted it to be. They're on their own 24. Here's Marchi. They'll take a look. Rolling and completing. And he finds Armstead. But a flag on the near side of the field. And they'll say play clock expired before that play got off.
Unforced error. Look at Marchi, though. This is all Marchi. Look at the poise. Great job.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense number 85. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, my mistake, ineligible player downfield.
Still unforced, though. I mean, there's no excuse for that.
That was the tight end, Chris Myrick. And we went back to penalties earlier.
Yeah.
Temple, that's not a category you want to be the leader in. They are far and away ahead here in this one now. 7 penalties for 54 yards that have cost them in this one.
And it could have been more. Villanova declined 2 of them. So you can add 2 on that and extra yards on top of that if Villanova chose to.
Villanova will call for time.
I like the timeout call here because if there's anything to be worried about, this is a huge play in this ball game. Make sure everybody's on the same page. This is money down for both teams. Villanova has all the momentum. If they can stop Temple here and get the ball back, it's a very good proposition for them.
Nova 2 timeouts left. They'll talk it over here. Temple a big down on the way. Big 3rd down coming here for Temple. 13-10, they lead. 4th quarter action. Tyoka Jackson, Greg Meskel here with you from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia.
Villanova was the #1 defense in all of FCS in total defense and points against. I mean, they've got a history of playing really good defense. They're going to need all of that on this 3rd down. The question will be, will they bring guys or will they play coverage?
And look at those total yards. Only 2 of those yards for Villanova are on the rush. It's been through the air. Here's Temple now. They've gone through the air as of late as well. Marchie will keep it through the air once again. That's batted down at the line. Big defensive play in front.
Mr. Steve comes up big. They decide to bring 1 guy, which is still only rushing 4. And it's an old adage, if you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up in the passing lanes and block the ball. You got to remember, Marchese only goes 6'0". I mean, he is not very tall. So that ball's coming out at a low trajectory. Get your hands up. Big play for Villanova.
Steve, 4 tackles last week and a big deflection here. This sets up a punting down, and now the momentum, you talked about it earlier, continues to side with the visitors from Villanova. Punting opportunity here. This one will be taken at about the 35. And then a couple on the game. Trey Johnson there on the return.
You can just feel it. You can feel the momentum all on the visitor sidelines. If you're Temple, you got to come up and make a play. Their leaders now have to step forward and make something happen for their team, not just for their defense, but for their entire football team.
Now, this is a nice close game going down to the wire. You look at the previous meetings, the last 3 meetings, Temple has outscored Villanova 114-41. So they haven't been fairly close games. The last time they get together, a 41-10 blowout. So we are headed down to the finish here at Lincoln Financial Field. An exciting one between these 2.
Been so impressed with Bednarczyk and his poise. He too, only 6 foot, 205 pounds, but he's tough.
He goes handoff, good Zach to the 50. Steamrolls 1 guy and is held up there.
There continues to be slivers of running room for Villanova when they decide to run. It's just that the pursuit has been so good and the tackling of Temple has been so good. There are slight holes, but they're closing fast.
He touched on Bednarczyk, and offensive coordinator Venuto talking about his early games were just disasters. Fumbles, interceptions, going back to his early part of his Villanova career. He's really settled in here. He'll go handoff now, looking to turn the corner, and not much there for Jarrett McClinton.
Interesting play call. Haven't had a lot of success running wide against Temple. A little bit of success that they had has been up inside, which really goes against conventional thinking because Temple's so tough inside. But there's been nothing doing on the perimeter in terms of the run game.
And at Villanova, they've tried to stay committed to the run despite the lack of success, only a handful of yards at this point. 3rd and 4. Wildcats 8 for 15 on 3rd down so far.
Which is excellent, by the way. Big money down here, though.
Bednarczyk to pass. Quick out, they go to the safety valve. Bell is there for the 1st down.
Football can be very simple. Greg, if you want it to be. I mean, guys tend to overthink it. I got a guy that you can't cover, so I'm going to continue to call plays for him. Just a turnaround route. That's a stick route. Runs up, past the sticks, turns around, catches the football, first down. I don't need rack yards when I'm past the sticks. I just want to keep the yards moving.
He's a smart guy. Knows where he's at on the field, gets to that spot, knows it's a first down, turns around, gets open. Good hands from Ryan Bell. First down and 10. Handoff up the gut. And that's Forbes on the carry.
Again, not a whole lot of yards there, nothing but one, but it just is enough to keep them honest. You just can't decide to get up the field and rush the passer every down, because I'm going to call a run here and there, and I might crease you.
Short gain, second down. 5:49 to play, so we're starting to get into that interesting part of the clock here as we get down to the end of the fourth quarter. Timeouts, plenty on both sides. 2 for Villanova, 3 for Temple. Bednarczyk to throw. Complete. Goodzak to the 30, 25, still churning, and then driven down. He'll stay in bounds on the tackle there, covered from Delvon Randall.
And again, Ryan Bell clears it out. So much attention for 85. You don't cover the back out of the backfield. This is one of the most basic plays in football. In Tampa, we called it K4 and K5. Well, if the tight end is running a beautiful clear-out route and he's a good football player that commands attention, that back out of the backfield will be wide open, and Goodzak was, caught the football, turned upfield, first down.
Another first down. Wildcats move the chains on the Temple 23. Bednarczyk goes to Goodzak. He is eaten up. Gets nowhere fast. And that was Sean Bradley. Philly fans knew a much different Sean Bradley years ago. This is a shorter version, if you will.
This was only 6'1", but I guarantee he's a lot tougher. All right, you can't compare these football guys to basketball guys. I'll tell you that right now. Great job by Bradley. That might be the big play that could turn this series for Temple. You're getting now Villanova off schedule. Let's see what happens here on second and long.
Second and 14 on the 27 after the loss. Temple nearly jumps, able to get back. And Bednarczyk doesn't like it. He'll call for time.
Now that's a big call, that timeout there. I believe that only leaves them with one timeout, and in a game like this, tight, getting down deep into the clock, that one might hurt Villanova. We'll see.
They will talk things over here. 13-10, Temple in front. A big theme of this Villanova team this year was finish. And Coach Ferranti said it's the thing that kept bubbling up in practices. Hearing offense, defense, special teams. They felt like the last couple of years under Andy Talley, they got to the playoffs. You remember they won the title in 2009,
right?
But weren't finishing the way they wanted to.
Yeah, and you coach it up. You got to coach that every practice. You finish every drill. You finish every play. You finish every practice. Then you get in the games and you finish every run, you finish every drive, you finish every game. Then you finish the season. It's a process, and they've been really harping on it. Right now, it's the time for Villanova to finish. We'll see if they've made some inroads and gotten better in that area.
Second down. Bednarczyk batted down. That one swatted right in his face on the big rush. That was Archibong, the redshirt freshman from Springfield, Pennsylvania. Haven't called his number all that often, but he came up big.
That's a big horse right there. Again, we talked about if you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. He gets in the throwing lane and bats that ball down. That's a big play. Again, it'll only show up not as a turnover, but as a batted ball. But that's a huge play. Now it's third and long. Much better to call defense in third and long than third and short.
And perhaps the biggest money down, and there's a shuffle on the line.
False start. Offense number 77.
This goes against the offense.
Third down.
It's on Brandon Hittner. He was trying to suggest it was on Temple, but not the case. And Villanova now taking a step back.
What a terrible time for that play. I mean, all day they've been getting Temple to jump. They've been very disciplined up front for Villanova, playing a really clean football game for the most part. That play right there, that penalty couldn't come in a worse time. So now, what do? Do you try to go for getting that first down, third and forever? Or do you play a little more conservative and set yourself up for a field goal? Interesting call here coming up for San Venuto.
Go for the lead, go for the tie. Here's Bednarczyk on third and long. facing pressure, now has room. He'll take it himself to the 25, the 20. He'll get out of bounds near the original line of scrimmage, and so takes back a chunk of what they lost, and now a chance here to go for the tie on a field goal.
Can't lose contain as rushers. You have got to keep a quarterback inside. Inside move by the left end, or I'm sorry, the right end, and that gives up the perimeter, and he takes it. You've got to keep a quarterback corralled, keep him inside, let that pocket collapse on him. You let him get outside, nothing good can happen for the defense.
Kresge comes on, looking at about a 34-yarder here. This will tie the game. Kick is on the way. It is up, and it is good. And we are tied at 13. Drew Kresge delivers, and Villanova has scored 13 unanswered points to tie this game.
Yeah, give him credit. That's a mentally tough football team on the road. Even though on the road is 19 miles, this crowd is decidedly Temple. But right now, the visitors' offense and defense have come to play. Their fans have come to yell. Very nice showing right now by Villanova.
9-play, 36-yard drive results in the 34-yard field goal off the foot of the sophomore Kresge.
That's resiliency right there. When they came out of that second half, decided that they were going to change what they were doing offensively and defensively. You saw man beaters being called, crossing routes. They made some plays down the field using those crossing routes. 85 has been there all day whenever they called his name. Not a whole lot of running going on in terms of yardage, but they keep calling it to keep the defense honest. Right now, my hat's off to Sam Venuno and Mike Ferrante. They've called a really good game.
And now it'll be Temple's turn. Adonis Jennings, Mike Jones back to receive this one. Off the foot.
Just think of this if you're Temple. 3 minutes and 29 seconds. They have been unable to consistently run the football. This is where a running game could really be helpful.
Steve Weiler.
Excuse me, partner. They could take this ball and not give it back to Villanova if they can run the football and mix in play action off of it.
Steve Weiler here to kick it off. And he'll send this one towards Jones.
Short kick.
Takes it at about the 8. Mike Jones splits the defenders, cuts it back, and is upended at the 26-yard line. And now we'll see the Temple offense and things in their favor. 3:23 to play, 3 timeouts, and a quarterback that can sling it.
Yeah, at home, coming off of a loss, you need a win in a worse way. Momentum is on the other side. But if you're an offensive player for Temple right now, you got a chance to be a hero for your ball club.
Here's Marchie. Good numbers, no touchdown to speak of. And credit both sides. Turnovers have not been a problem by and large in this one.
Those 32 attempts are, to me, a little too high. I mean, that's for the inability to consistently run the football. That's been a problem.
And he goes play action here, and he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Officials come on to signal it right away.
Again, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, that play action wasn't the most effective play action because they hadn't been run the ball very well. You had defenders waiting for the bootleg. If Temple is being Temple on the ground, that bootleg has some options open for the quarterback. Good effort right there by the tight end, but incomplete yet still.
Intended for Myrick, but the line judge, Stephen Ray, on the scene to confirm that one was not a catch, and now it's second down. All right, last thing Temple wants to do, brand new coach, 2 10-win seasons, get off to an 0-2 start with things only getting more difficult. And a flag. Play clock was at 0.
Prior to the play clock expiring, Temple takes their first charge timeout of the half. This is a 30-second timeout.
Barely got that one in right. Woo.
So Temple will call for time.
That's a very valuable timeout right there. Yeah. You don't want to lose 5 yards right there. That's the sort of thing where, hey, every timeout is valuable this time of the game, but 5 yards is even more valuable than that one timeout.
So for Temple, is there any secret with what they're going to do? They've passed and passed and passed. Now they're in a time situation where they don't really have the luxury to run all that much. They do have some timeouts to work with, but Villanova kind of knows what's coming.
They do. And the downside of throwing the football this much, the clock doesn't run, and you'll give it back to Villanova without the clock being an issue. If you could run the football, even if you didn't get a touchdown or a field goal out of it, it would run clock down. You could punt, get them backed up, and force an overtime situation.
Marchi to throw once more, going down the sideline. What a grab and a flag! A one-hand snag down the sideline from Ventrell Bryant.
My goodness. You mentioned Odell Beckham before, didn't you?
I did.
There's another Odell Beckham type catch.
Well, hang on. Is this going to be offensive pass interference? Bryant was upset there for a moment.
Pass interference, defense, penalty is refused. Resolve the play, first down.
Okay, that makes more sense. Bryant there looked to be outraged for a moment once he came to the officials. Second look here, what a grab.
Yeah, 50-50 balls are all the rage now. Because of the rules, I'm not sure I see a foul by the defense, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway because it was a tremendous catch.
Now they go on the ground. Armstead, he is tripped up and gets nothing.
What a play.
Great defense there from Keeling Hunter.
And that's a guy that's a run-through tackle there. You see your gap, run through it and make a play in the backfield. That's a TFL from a linebacker. He understands what's going on. He knows exactly what he's doing on defense, what the offense is doing, runs through, makes a great play.
2:37 to play in this one. Marchi to throw downfield, and a flag flies in. There was some bumping in the coverage there. Malik Reeves defending downfield, intended for Adonis Jennings.
The officials are getting involved in a big way in a crucial time. And I'm not criticizing them either. I mean, if it's fouls, you got to call them.
Holding, defense number 1. 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So they call a hold there as opposed to pass interference.
Unlike the NFL, which is spot foul, if I'm going to get beaten this time of the game, I'm going to hold too. It's only a 15-yard penalty, live to play another down. If he doesn't hold there, maybe that's a touchdown, game over almost, right? So I'm okay with that flag there.
First and 10 now on the 39. They go to Armstead on the ground. He'll get a couple. Credit Temple, even with the time situation, and to your point, with the time situation, they decided to run the ball a bit more than they have been, trying to peel some of that time off.
Yeah, but Villanova again showing that they're up to the task. That's been the most surprising part of this football game. This defensive line for Villanova is not very deep. They're not super big. But that 3-3 stack is a clever scheme, and it's hard sometimes for these offensive linemen to figure out who they're doubling up to. And they've got some really smart linebackers who know exactly what they're doing, and they understand their run fits, and they've played really good run defense all game.
It's not as if either side has had a monster rushing day. They do carry again near side, and that was Armstead turning the corner. And so now they're chipping off some time here, and you get the sense that Temple wants to be the ones to have the final crack at any scoring here in this game.
Yeah, that's smart too. It looked like Armstead had something, but Drew Riley came across and put a nice hit on him and dropped him right away. Still third and manageable here for Temple. Obviously, goes without saying, this is a huge play in the ball game. Money down, right?
Exactly. Third down and 4 on the Villanova 33. 1:15 to play. Handoff, and they'll try and push the pile forward, but not going to get enough.
Interesting call. Clearly they have confidence in their kicker.
Yes, they do, as Armstead is given the rock to go up the middle for a couple. And Villanova is going to use their final timeout with 1:05 to play here in the fourth.
Well, here's the question. Are they going to go for it or are they going to kick it? I guess that's the decision, right? I mean, it's not a no-brainer that you kick it here. 4th and 3. Not the closest.
Looking at a 49-yard attempt right now, which is big. By no means a chip shot.
No.
You know, we talked about the juice and the swag. I think this is more just the idea, can the kicker come through with something like this? Now, we saw earlier Austin Jones. He does have a 45-yarder on his resume. He's coming off of the ACL tear a year ago.
Right.
Back playing healthy. Boumeri appears to be their deep threat, if you will, on field goals. and it is Boumeri who will come on for this attempt.
That's a big jersey number 4 kicker, and he's going to be big man on campus if he comes through here.
To go ahead, a 49-yard attempt with 1:05 to play. Kick is on the way. Boumeri nailed it! Temple goes in front, 16-13. With 1 minute to play, Aaron Boumeri, the sophomore from Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania, comes through in the clutch.
What a pressure kick by that kid right there. And like you said, it was not a chip shot. 49 yards is a real deal pro-type kick, and he split it.
He liked it from the beginning. And celebration on the sideline. They give out all kinds of awards after games. The Apex Predator, the Standard. He's due for one of these honors.
Yeah, I think that's an Apex Predator moment right there. The Apex Predator for them are the guys who have the best production, best, most physical and winning production. That obviously wasn't the most physical. He didn't have to hit anybody, but he had to make a pressure kick, and that was winning production right there. I think he's going to be on that Apex Predator award. Now, you might argue, hey, what's the kicker doing on Apex Predator? Well, hey, listen, that game may come down to that kick right there.
Kickers can be Apex Predators.
Why not? You only need them when you need them.
Kickoff here now. Villanova has a minute to play. They're out of timeouts. This one taken at the 5. To the 20. McGrigg, and he won't get much further. Ball popped loose. Fumble. Looks like Villanova's recovered it there in the pile. And they will emerge with the ball. It was Julian Williams coming up with it.
So right now, if you're Temple, the pass rush has to come alive. You can be a hero by getting after this quarterback. If you're Villanova, look for the outside routes, get the ball to the sidelines and out of bounds. But remember, this is college football. Anytime they get a first down, that clock will stop to spot the football. I always thought that throwing the ball down the middle was always a great option because the clock will stop.
51 seconds to go, 77 yards. If they want a touchdown, they can also tie it with a field goal. And that one is complete to the 25. And McGrigg is there. They're going to have to hustle. That was not a first down. Clock still rolling under 40.
Yeah, I don't understand the call there. I don't understand that play. Like, why would you run it underneath short gain and keep the clock running?
At this point, just try and get in range for Kresge. Bednarczyk, that's complete. Bell, he thought about a lateral. He'll go forward now, get the first down to the 40 with 24 seconds left, and Villanova has to hustle.
I think he's going to clock the ball here. Oh, no, maybe not.
Clock is winding now. They'll go for it. Bednarczyk with 20 seconds left, complete over the middle. Here's Goodzak, got a long way to run. Spinning upfield. Ball pops loose, fumble. Temple seems to have it. And they've recovered. And that'll put a capper on this home opener for the Owls.
Now he's got to go sign that board, right? Take the ball away board.
Sharif Finch in on the recovery for the Owls.
Wow.
That's going on the ball wall.
My goodness. What a play. Great pursuit by this Temple defense. That's what they hang their hat on. We talked about it all week. Tabor Johnson said you're going to see us running around. Excellent job of running, but you got to protect that football. Keep it high and tight. That ball's too loose. And look at the hustle. That's a defensive lineman running downfield, folks, to get on that football. Great job by Sharif Finch.
Margie takes the knee, and just that quickly, Temple has secured their first win of the Jeff Collins era. They will take it 16-13 over Villanova.
What a ball
Sean Bradley forces the fumble. Sharif Finch gobbles it up. Goodzak looking to make an extra effort not to be. And an embrace among two area coaches. This Philadelphia matchup goes to the Temple Owls.
Yeah, great game. Both teams fought hard. Got a lot of guys who know each other and played like they didn't want to be the guy who didn't have bragging rights. And Villanova has nothing to hang their hat about. They came out here, especially in the second half, and took it to Temple and made a great game of it. Temple just made one more play than Villanova when it counted.
What a turn of events there down the stretch. Villanova scores 13 unanswered to tie this game at 13. Aaron Boumeri does the job from distance, from really the Villanova campus, 49 yards out to make it a 16-13 game. And then Nova trying some way, somehow to rally. They cough it up, and the Owls are there.
And you got to feel bad for Goodzik. He's played a really good game, and that effort right there was a winning effort. You just got to tuck that ball away. Just when you think that you can relax, you never do, especially that close call and very late in the ball game. Got to stay on the details of high and tight, holding on to that football. He'll learn from that. But again, no need to hang your head if you're Villanova. They're a good football team, and they're going to be a team to be reckoned with in their conference, no question about it.
Excellent day here in Philly. Enjoyed calling this one with you, partner?
Oh, it was my pleasure. I mean, you got to love this atmosphere. Great stadium, obviously, where the Eagles play, and both of these teams accounted for themselves so well. Both programs have got to be proud of the effort, and it's nothing like a rivalry game, right? I mean, I don't care FCS, FBS. You couldn't tell who was who. You just saw a bunch of guys competing.
And at the end of the day, it's a win for Temple. So for our producer, John Anderson, for my partner, Tyoka Jackson, I'm Greg Meskel saying so long from Philadelphia, where the final score is Temple 16, Villanova 13. All games airing on the ESPN networks or streaming live on the ESPN app. Or to watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games in our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.